Ho, 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 my boys, my girls. It is time, once again, for the usual suspects to take over your phones, your tablets, your computers, or maybe even your Xboxes if you're watching this on a big screen, Johnny. What's up, everybody? My name is Aaron. I am the mastermind behind Fourzze on repulsecollectibles.com alongside many other fantastic font makers. You know me as the host of The Usual Suspects. Joining me tonight, in place of our usual co-host Aaron from Shadow Tech Sabers, we have the host of The Usual Suspects halftime show, my boy Jedi Knight Jeff.
What's up, Fourzze? How are you?
Doing good. I'm hanging in there, bro. If I'm being perfectly honest. I see you're sporting your gear tonight. Very good.
I am. I gotta support my font makers.
Heck yeah, dude. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, now joining us. Additionally, hang on just one second. We got Zero in the room, and of course Jeff's in the comments. Look at him. Jeff's going to be monitoring our comment section tonight, so y'all be on your best behavior. Also joining us for the first hour is my boy Jeremy from Moon's Custom Armory.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
You doing all right, bro?
I'm doing good.
Excellent.
Building
Smithers. Yeah, man. So you're hard at work tonight while you're hard at work tonight, so that's good.
Kind of doing a double shifty thing, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. So how's the new place treating you?
New place is good. We got today we kind of went and got another vehicle. So
all right.
Well, we get it this week coming up, but yeah, we're looking forward to that.
Heck yeah, dude. Fantastic. All right, kiddos. So tonight, first of all, I'd like to say that here on The Usual Suspects, we have been honored in these past streams since we made the collective decision to start our first hour with guests. We tried it once. We had Johnny from Dark Wolf, and it was a raging success. We figured, why not stick to the formula? We've had some outstanding people join us. We've had Brian Gomer. We've had, as a matter of fact, our very first stream, we had Bodacious Bagels. When Brandon was nice enough to put me on Twitch for the very first stream, Kyle Lusignan. It's been great. We had our current suspect Preston from Syndicate as our main guest. I mean, it's just been a phenomenal run so far, and I'm not even about to let up. So, without any further delay, tonight I would like to introduce. I'm honored to introduce Russell from WADE Sabers. Y'all give it up for Russell.
Hey guys, I got to follow all those now.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Before we get started, I would also like to let everybody know that Russell is going to be our main star for the night, but we are also at the 10 o'clock hour going to be on a pretty happy note. We're celebrating 2 birthdays tonight. This guy to my immediate right is turning 39 years old for the 5th time now?
Oh, if you want to get completely honest, it'll be the 6th time.
Yep. And so happy birthday to Jedi Knight Jeff. You guys in the comments section, please wish him a happy birthday. Let him know that he is loved and appreciated because we love him and appreciate him. He is family. He's one of the kindest dudes I've ever met in my life, and I'm honored to have him as my co-host tonight and as a usual suspect always. And myself, I also had a birthday this past Wednesday, so we are doing a double birthday celebration with Russell here on the show tonight. Russell, you're going to have a lot of screen time, brother, because it's just the three of us asking questions. So If you've watched our previous streams, you pretty much know the drill. I'll ask 2 questions. Jeff will ask 2 questions. Jeremy will ask 2 questions. If any of our other usuals make it on before your hour is up, I'll give them a little mic time to ask what they need to ask. Before we get started, let me hit the comment section really fast to see who we have. We've got Isaac. Oh, look at Isaac. Isaac's the man. And we have my sister-in-law, Donna. Check her out. Happy birthday to Jeff and Fourzze. Oh, I love you, dear. Zero shouting out to Russell here. We got, it's Maiko Greenleaf. Let's see. Jeff is on it tonight. Happy birthday from Maiko. Donna saying hey, and everybody say hey to Donna and Holiday 31. I'm pretty sure they're chilling at the pad watching. All right, Zero, happy birthday to everybody. Donna's off to and Donna's going to bed. Good night. Oh, I love it. All right, we got some folks in the room. Jeremy.
Yo.
I am going to give you the first shot. So it is Q&A time. Russell, you ready for us?
Oh, I'm ready. Yeah.
We're ready for you.
I mean, I can answer the questions. They may not be right, but I can answer them.
There is no right answer.
There's no
wrong answer. All right, Jeremy, you're first tonight. Have at it.
Okay. Very simple. When you're a Saber builder, basically you're doing machining and stuff like that. What is it like when you're, because I've seen some of the stuff you've done and it's just absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
When you end up, what is it? When you're getting a design that you absolutely love and you want to try it out, and how do you approach it first? Like, really, do you like to do sketches? Do you like to just wing it? Do you like to have some good plan outs for it? I guess especially if you're machining it.
If it's most of the time, what I like to do the most is just on the fly. So I don't really plan too much. Sometimes I'll have a basic idea that I want to include in the build, but most of the time it's just I put a piece of raw metal in the lathe and just start turning and see what comes out. And I've got some of the ones that I've done that I like the most have actually come out that way, in that style anyway.
Okay.
I do a little bit of etching or sketching and stuff, and I've done some like that, but the problem with that is then I have to, it's just not as fun to do, because then you got to measure everything out. And when you're just doing it on the fly, you're just basically having fun doing it.
Awesome. That's I work the same way.
Yeah.
Question 2.
Okay, question 2. Have you ever had a design or something that you've wanted to do, but you're just not too sure how to do it? Like it's just something that you're thinking, it's like, just this design's going to go a little. It's weird, but I guess it's like how many times have you tried a design out before and it just didn't work, even though like something in your head just didn't work?
Well, they've always come out. Maybe not the way I wanted them to, but I mean, I've had other people's designs that I've tried to do and actually had to tell them, I couldn't do it. But as far as things that I've come up with, the end result may be different than what I started with, but they come out something in the end anyway. regardless, because if I make a mistake, I'll just incorporate that mistake into the build and just go with it, you know. And I've actually, I could take some of my old hilts and stuff and just show where this was actually a mistake, and look, you know, it looks pretty good that way, you know. So
happy accidents.
yeah. Oh, lots of happy accidents. Yeah.
Jeff, I'm gonna throw it to you.
I have no sound. I can't hear you, Jeff.
Right.
There you go.
I forgot I muted it on my headset and not actually on screen. So my first question, what is your very first Star Wars memory?
Well, that's kind of difficult because I was actually talking to my older brother about this because I couldn't remember if the memory that I have is actually a real memory or if it's something that I fantasized because I wanted it to be true. But I asked my older brother if he took me to the first Star Wars movie in 77. And it turns out he did. So the actual memory that I have is from that film. And it was the best I can remember was the lightsaber just blowing me away. And Chewbacca thinking, what is that? You know, but that would have to be the first memory. So I was maybe 6 years old when I went. And yeah, that'd be about it.
Okay. Now we are going to get into what is your all-time favorite Canon movie hilt?
Okay, so it's difficult, but I have to say the Luke V2. It was the first one I ever built, and to me, I actually picked. I think one of the hardest ones to build, in especially for your first time and install electronics in. But yeah, the Luke V2 always stands out.
Hold on. I think this is it. Boom. Is that the one?
That is actually the one I did not too long ago. That's what I called the Dark Luke.
Oh, that's sweet.
I wanted to build something with a removable chassis. And so, yeah, the first one wasn't quite as accurate as it should have been, but it took me a while to build because I actually built it through lunch and breaks at work and stuff. And
is this it?
And that is not it. No, you'd have to go all the way back to the first of my posts. I think would be there,
okay.
And I don't have it to just pull up. But
I'm going to make that one of my questions. Okay.
But yeah, the Graflex is so iconic, you know, and it's really difficult to actually make that decision. Which one is my favorite? It's between the Graflex and the V2, but I'm going to have to say V2 because as a teenager, that's what I saw. As a little kid that don't really remember that much, I saw the Graflex, but I don't know. It's such a difficult thing because when he's in the cave and there's the Graflex in the snow, I mean, that's such a huge moment in my mind because that's the first time you really seen him use the Force, you know? Yep. And so that was a huge thing. Nah, I can't really make that decision. It's the Graflex and the V2. The Hero has never really stuck in my mind much. It's in the one scene, you know, and so yeah, it would definitely be in this order, probably Luke V2, Graflex, and then tomorrow, if you ask me the same question, I'm probably going to say the Graflex and the V2. So, it's gonna that's just too difficult. What's my favorite movie? Now that one I can answer, but okay, go ahead.
All right, my turn. So out of all 9 movies, not counting any of the series, the Clone Wars, the Rebels, Bad Batch, any of that stuff, out of the 9 canon movies, which one is your all-time favorite?
Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, I should have known.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was that was in 80. So yeah, I was 10 years old, 11 years old. No, I was about 10 years old. Oh yeah, that movie blew me away. That was awesome. I Am Your Father. I mean, spoiler alert. Yeah, that was great. It will always be in my mind of the best Star Wars movie.
Yeah, it's definitely a pinnacle of cinema, that's for sure.
No doubt.
I mean, if we watched Return of the Jedi, there's some scenes in there that as a 13-year-old, I can say were just really scenes that's really stuck out in my mind for quite some time.
Yeah. That's my favorite movie right there. Return is always going to be my favorite. So I guess my final question will be coming back to you personally. When was your big introduction into Saber land? Like I can assume, and again this is just me assuming, that you were probably in the pages, part of a forum, maybe the TRA, probably the IRA is what it was called way back when. When was WADE Sabers born and in there doing what it is you do?
Honestly, I have 4 children in my life, and so there's like a time where you walk in a door when you're a parent, and then at some point they're at a certain age where you can walk out of the door and you kind of look around and you go, what's going on in the world right now?
Yeah.
And so they wasn't. I mean, lightsabers always been awesome, but it wasn't. I became a machinist at one point, and then I started seeing things pop up on Facebook and some really awesome chassis and stuff on some Graflexes, and was just blowing me away. And it's just at one point that I realized that I could make one. I mean, I've been making things for quite a while as a machinist, and it just never occurred to me that, hey, I can actually make that, And so that was in 2019 when I started making the V2, and it kind of went from there. Mainly, though, I was looking for one. I was looking to buy one. And then I was like, my joke is that I didn't want to spend $800, so I spent $8,000 instead. Because I went ahead, after I made the first one, I bought the stuff. I was hooked. As soon as I got done with it, as soon as I fired it up, I knew that I was going to keep going, and I wanted to build more. And so I got a lathe and a mill for my shop, and I tried to kind of duplicate what I have at my job, kind of on a smaller scale, because we have a lot more equipment there. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's excellent. All righty. We've got, wow. You see, with our lack of suspects tonight, the Q&A tends to go a little short. I'm gonna grab a couple more. So I brought up a couple of picks. There was that Scratch and Dent, that Dark Luke that you had worked on. There's the one I just showed. So you've worked on a couple of V2s. Now, the V2s that you have worked on, where are they from? Who was the machinist behind those?
Well, I've done installs and stuff on quite a few, like Creepy Uncles, with let's see, then like the last one there, the Dark Luke, that was one that I'd actually bought off a guy, and it had a tri-crease setup, and basically, I actually tried to sell it, and I never could get anything on it. So I just wound up just taking I took a hacksaw and a couple of cut off wheels to it, and I just started cutting on it, and just going crazy on it, just so I could have something unique. But who made that was actually a pretty good question. I posted on it. I was like, who made this? Because it was kind of supposed to be a kind of a rare one, but it turned out to not be. And so that's one of the reasons why I couldn't unload it. But,
okay. All righty.
I've had.
There's been a few. I mean, because if you go back, I mean, to my knowledge, if you're talking pre-2019, there were only a handful. Solo's Hold comes to my mind right off the bat. You've got KR. KR did one. I remember KR did one, right, Jeremy? It was about that time.
Yeah, KR did one. Didn't War Sabers have one too?
I don't recall. But what about Dennis Lukanev? Or was that the creepy uncle that he?
I think
was.
No, yeah, that's the creepy uncle.
Yeah, Dennis did the creepy uncle. Yeah.
Okay. Comment section. If you know, type in where you know your V2s from. I know Corbanth has one, but that is. Did 89 do Romans? I forgot there was Romans.
Yeah.
Romans. I think Corbanth has one from 89. Of course, Solo's Hold. You can't. This is it again. One man's opinion. The Solo's Hold V2 will always be my very favorite. It's got deep personal meaning to me, and that's my Saber. So, Zero. Okay, Zero says he's only aware of Corbanth. So, and of course, no, they didn't. No, they did. I was going to say the big VV did one, but no, they didn't. It was in conjunction with the Evolution Arms. They did a hero. Yeah. Isaac says he's stumped. Hey, Craig's in the house. What's up, Craig? And Craig says RPK.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so, I mean, there you go, Russell. I mean, just big names in and of itself. With the fact that you got one, that already says you got it from a good place.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I could. Did One Replicas do all right? Maybe not the Luke V2, but just like a hero. I'm trying to remember who it was that one was actually made by, but I never did get a definitive answer on it.
Okay.
So I don't really know for sure, but I thought maybe somebody said One Replicas. No, it was somebody that had been around a while back, actually.
It's really funny because the screen is full of stumped old guys.
Yep.
Oh man. Russell, with your permission, I would like to share some pictures with the folks in the comments section. I've got a lot of them actually.
Awesome.
Maybe you could talk to us about them. We'll start with this classy little group right here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
That's the upcoming Master Sentinel run. Yep. Now, of course, those are 3D renderings.
Wow.
But yeah, this is something I'm really excited about, just to be doing it, because it's something I never thought would be getting done.
So those were just set up to make them have the colors, just the option colors or something like that.
Actually, I don't know if you have one, but there's one that's silver. That's actually the way they're going to come. So it'll be a clean slate.
Oh, nice.
And then there's going to be, we're going to put out different color gemstones. So there's one gemstone on the side and one on the front. And so we're going to you'll be able to make whatever color you want basically when it's all
Yeah.
said and done. But the grip section there actually is going to be steel, and it's actually will slide off. So if you wanted to put like leather or something like that, anything in there that's going to be an 1/8 inch wide will fit. So
Oh, wow.
it just, yeah. And then the center shroud, actually, let's see, the first one I did, Jeremy Puckett etched it. And then the second one I did, I actually used stencils and powder coated it where it's got the lettering around it, which was the original design had the lettering around the center shroud, which was just looked awesome.
Okay.
Nice.
Now here's another angle. Golly.
Yeah, and see these shrouds. So the upper shroud will slide off. The buttons are actually going to be plungers that will have. You can just remove the housing, then slide the upper shroud off. Then the center shroud will come off. So those could be like etched, and just so many possibilities on it. It's going to be. What I can't wait to see is what people do with them. That's going to be the funnest part about it.
Yeah.
Well, Russell, if you're paying attention to the comments section, you are definitely generating some interest right off the bat.
I made a post today, and I haven't even had a chance to get back to it and reply to anybody yet. But yeah, it's got a lot of response to it.
These are some very, very impressive hilts. I'm not even going to lie. This is phenomenal. It really is.
They look like they're straight out of like the old Republic, like
yes.
art. Like it looks like something that's like, hey, guess what? BioWare's looking for new sabers. Render art. Here you go, type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. This is next level, Russell. This is ridiculous.
Well, I definitely have to give a call out to Brian O'Connor and Stephen.art, which is XX or SXEVEN.art. They're the ones that designed it. And of course, oh man, there's been several people involved in this.
They did a good job.
Liam Giard, and is that it? How do you say his name? That's gonna be, Liam. I don't know how to say your last name, buddy. Sorry.
Isaac says he has cash right now for you.
We got Jordan Foster did these renderings right here, and of course I'm working with Sith Lord Sabers, and Shane Moore. We're coming out with these. We're working together on them, and it's so far it's just been great. This is my first run, so I'm just trying to sit back and kind of enjoy the process, kind of learn as much as I can about it, because I know nothing about doing a lightsaber run. I know more now, of course, than I did, a month ago, but trying to enjoy it, because I know you only get to do it once, the first time once. So,
well, honestly, they're fantastic. Like say what you will, there's a lot of people out there that are making really great hilts, especially on their first runs. That one, I've been just. I'm a huge Old Republic fan. I love the Old Republic's hilts. Anything from that era, and that was one that was just like, yeah, that is definitely gonna make waves as far as I'm concerned.
I hope that's right. I have no worry about it. We're going to do a run of 150 of them.
Wow.
We're going to split it 75 and 75, and it's actually kind of bad that I'm just not worried about it. I think they're going to sell and everything, but they'll sell.
They'll sell.
Yeah, I want people to enjoy them. That's the main thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I can't wait to see what they do with them. That's going to be awesome.
Blank slates are awesome. I think it really started off with the flagship of having a blank slate saber to everyone can customize their own. And then a few other ones that come out, and like I absolutely love blank slate sabers. They're just to let people here's a piece. Let someone design, what they want to it, like customize it, make it their own. But
one of the things I've had people say in the comment sections and stuff is, I want the red one or I want the gold one. Yeah. I mean, they can have whichever one they want. They're just, they're going to have to get a powder coater and all that because they're coming blank slate.
Well, that's the thing. You said you're working with Shane over at Sith Lord Sabers.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Giving him an idea of what those colors are will definitely help with setting up powder coaters with what they need for those types of colors. So.
I'm hoping to have as far as the gemstones, just a really wide variety of colors for them. I think that the company that I'm looking at has like 15 different colors. The gemstones aren't, they're not very expensive. They look awesome though. And so going to try to supply with at least from 6 to a dozen different colors with each hilt. And then that way people can just go hog wild with them.
So awesome. I have a question because I have not personally seen the official post for this. Are you offering these? Are these going to be 7/8 or 1-inch blades?
They're going to be 1 inch.
Okay. Yeah. Will there be an option for a 7/8 adapter?
It's that I've not ever even thought of that.
Okay.
I've never built a hilt with a 7/8.
Well, from the blade, you can see the inner blade holder. You basically just can add really one of the adapters that is out there. It looks like.
I don't think it would be a problem. I don't know. I mean, right now we've went into the prototype phase of it, so. I mean, things could always be changed. I don't think it would be a problem to come up with adapter. I think the depth of the emitter is going to be somewhere around 2.5 inches, maybe, or something like that. It's going to have a lot of depth to it.
Okay.
So you can really fight with these then.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be capable.
Awesome.
They're no joke.
Not only that, but I don't know if anybody's seen the adapters they've got for the Tri-Cree adapters, NeoPixel to Tri-Cree, so it should have room for even that to where you can use a standard blade with it. I really like those. When I first got a few of those, I loved them. I thought they was awesome.
Like I've never had one. So how long are those actually, like in like size wise?
Well, let's see. I've got one here. Let's see. We've got 15 millimeters, so not quite 5/8 of an inch long, but that's with the lip that the actual blade will sit down inside of there. So yeah, you're looking at about 5/8 of an inch right there.
Oh, so they don't have much blade depth then.
No, 5/8 is basically your blade depth on them. Okay. These are made by Stock, and they work great. I just really, I was blown away by them. I bought several of them. I've still got, I think, almost every one I've bought because I haven't even had the opportunity to do anything with custom stuff for a while. I've been so busy. I've been busy building other people's designs and stuff lately, and that's kind of took away my freedom of on the fly builds, which I miss. I need to build some, got to get that out every once in a while.
I want to encourage everybody in the comment section to copy the link here at the top and either head to Instagram or head over to Facebook and share with some friends. Let folks know that Russell is live on The Usual Suspects right now. We're talking about this run. Russell, what else can you reveal about this run right now? I mean, have you guys determined final pricing?
Okay, so we don't have a final pricing, but our original pricing that we had, we was actually going with one shop, and the pricing, because it is a hilt with a lot of layers, it's got a lot of shrouds. It was going to wind up being about 15 parts without the smaller parts. Okay. And it was going to be, it was going to run us, we was going to have to charge probably around $400 for each one, but we was able to contact a different shop and get that down to around 300, possibly under. And we're hoping that we can get it at least at the range of 300 for the hilt.
Dang, that's fantastic.
Wow. That is awesome.
That's the plan. I actually put out a kind of a feeler on boxes, because it was the whole thing like, some people just throw away the boxes. That's what we were talking about. And why spend, what would it be? I don't know, $800 on boxes. That's basically, you're going to have to sell the 3 hilts or whatever to make it back. And so we were saying, we'll just get plain boxes and put them in that. And then I put out a feeler on it, and people were saying, oh, we really like the boxes, So I think we're going to go ahead and go with the boxes, since we got the lower price on the other shop. So,
yeah,
nice.
That's fantastic. That's really something.
Hoping to get it as low as possible. You know what I mean? We definitely want to get it out there. I don't want it to be I don't know. I don't know if that is that a good price range. That's a good question right there.
Oh yeah.
because
well, I mean,
everybody,
it's an empty hilt, so
yeah, but it's like Jeremy was saying, the clean slate. I mean, there's so many people out there who can add such a nice touch to it. Be it they make their own chassis, they do their own crystal chamber, they add their own etch work. I mean, there's so many bold possibilities, and to be truthful, I mean, just looking at them, I mean, if I were to make a personal choice, I would go with the black one on the far right, just because it's got such a very nice Old Republic feel to it. It's very sleek. I almost want to say it's royal looking, because
I would go more of the second from the right, the one with the brass feel look to it.
Brass, yeah. I don't know if you've got any pictures of the brass one I did for Brandon Benjamin, but it turned out awesome. If you guys can see, like all right, let's look at the red one where it's got so you've got the main shroud, and then you've got these 2 pieces that look kind of like they're white. It's difficult to explain here. It goes from the bottom button up, and you've got the slice, and then on each side of that, you've got 2 smaller pieces. Those are actually separate pieces.
Yeah.
So they're actually, they're glued on after everything's powder coated. So you've got the main hilt, then you've got the first shroud on the top, then you have the second shroud on the top, and then you have those 2 pieces that are actually attached by gluing them on. So, and mainly that was so that it could be powder coated and it'd be different color. So
now Cole here is wondering if you guys are going to do a staff coupler for this.
I could give something away on that. I don't really know that I should.
You don't feel comfortable doing it. We understand.
I'll say it like this: if somebody wanted to turn these into a staff, I don't think they're going to have any problem doing that. I'll decide. I'll talk to Shane and just see if we just want to say what it is. But yeah, it's
Very nice.
it's the threading. So I think it'll be easy enough to get a part anyway, even if we don't make the part. You know what I mean?
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
That's excellent. Yeah, this is ridiculous. This is fantastic. What a phenomenal looking run.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, top to bottom. I mean, there's something for everybody, and I mean, golly, like I already know what I would do. I would, yeah. I mean, I'd make first thing I would do is I would go ahead and make mine direct connect, and I'd make that a demo Saber and NeoPixel that bad boy up and probably put either a Golden Harvest or a CFX in there because that's ridiculous. I love it. That's great.
I'm glad you already know what you want to do. You know, I'm doing the run, and I have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm going to have at least one. You guys, I probably should say that I don't own a lightsaber. You know,
What?
everything that I've made, I've sold in order to keep making them. You know,
Nah.
so I don't. I mean, I have a couple of Graflex over here that are the replicas from KR Sabers. I've got the Ray Graflex with the leather on the clamp, and I've got 5 or 6 more up here that are. I'm probably going to install all of them and then sell them down the road, you know, just to finance other things. As far as a personal saber that I have like in the house, I don't have one, and I know that sounds crazy, but I'm going to. I'm going to have one of these Master Sentinels for sure.
Oh, definitely. You have to have a saber from your own run, a personal one, because you know that way it's like down the line you never know, and people are like, hey, I made a saber run. What kind? This.
Yeah.
You have to have your own.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, and I'm not a fan of red exteriors on a lightsaber, but the cross hatching on the lower half of that saber hilt looks phenomenal in red.
Yeah. That whole cross section thing, that whole Jordan Foster come up with the idea of just making the sleeve, and then that's going to be milled out. I can't remember what CNC they said they was going to use to be able to do that, where it's actually not that difficult to do. But the original artwork it looked more like a cobblestone, but it was blue and black, and it looked like it had a lot of texture to it. It'd be very difficult to simulate something like that without actually having that material. I looked everywhere for that material when I did the very first one that I built, and I could not find. I looked. There was women's designer boots that I was able to find that was actually close to that, but it was going to be like $200 just to get the boots, and I wouldn't have been positive that it would have worked out and fit and everything. So that didn't go well.
Well, and that cobblestone kind of effect is one of those things that's. I mean, have you ever seen the Mace Windu hilt up close? The black sections on a Mace Windu hilt have that like cobblestone kind of snake skin effect to it.
Yeah. I talked to Steven about it, and I asked him. I said, "Did you draw that from something? You know, I was hoping he had something he actually drew it from, but he said, no, he just drew it." I went quite a while looking for something that would match that, because I really wanted it to be close to the original artwork. But
no, that's still looks
still phenomenal.
Yep.
Well, if we can, I got a lot more images. I mean, it's First of all, it's fantastic coverage of this Master Sentinel that run. That's killer. I've got some more images here I want to share with everybody from Russell here. We have, here's a nice clean one here.
That's the one right there. That's the one Jordan sent. That I asked him to send one that was just the plain version, just like it's going to be, except that one does have the gemstone in it. Although I think that gemstone is a little smaller. I think we got it up to 8mm. So I'm pretty sure anyway. But that's it. That's the way it should look out of the box right there.
Okay, fantastic. All right, moving forward, we have. Now I showed this a little bit earlier, but here we have a V2.
Let me look at this one here. Okay, yeah.
Look at that crystal chamber. Good Lord.
Now, see, I didn't make that. This was one that was sent to me by one of my regular customers, and it had a lot of problems with it. The crystal chamber was wobbly, and actually it was kind of hanging. And he wanted me to make possibly a removable battery. And so I wound up actually just, other than the section that goes into the grenade section, it is pretty much all redone. I had to make this chassis for that small little chassis there. Actually has the board under the clamp. I don't know how often you've seen one like that in a V2, but it was very interesting to make that. That's for sure. I actually had to, because your whole problem with that is your switches are in the clamp,
Yeah.
And so I had to run. I built a small little PCB holder and drilled right behind the crystal chamber there, so that I could put the switches in the clamp and still have a removable chassis. So that was just a lot of fun to make.
Very nice.
Very nice.
And then we have.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the second Master Sentinel there.
Okay, and then let's see. This must be the other end. Oh.
This was a mod. This was a mod that I did on a Saber Forge. I put the copper accents and stuff like that on it, and made a removable chassis for it.
I remember that one. That's a nice one.
I actually have one right over here, still for sale.
Actually, I'll tell you what. Do you have it within arm's reach?
Where is it?
Putting him on the spot.
I wonder what I did with it. I may have used it for something, and then it used to be right here. I swear it did. Hold on. Let's walk around. Where the hell is it? Okay. I don't know.
This is why I love live internet. It's great.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, right. Well, while you're searching there, Russell, I'm gonna introduce and bring Link into the stream. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, man?
How's everybody doing?
You're doing really good. So we were just talking about the Master Sentinel run from WADE Sabers. It's got one heck of a response here in the comments section. Cole was nice enough to go on Instagram and let folks know that we're live talking about it now. A lot of support. It's got, like I said, man, it's got a crazy response. Just to show you really quick, if you weren't on earlier, this is what they look like.
Oh yeah. I think I saw this somewhere. Yeah.
And these are phenomenal.
I'm just looking at it from like, I know how much people get into customizing hilts. Like this one provides a lot of different angles, and I really can't wait to see what people do with it.
Oh, dude, the most interesting thing I've seen so far, and that was obviously from Cole. He's going to go with fuchsia and purple and do an X-Men Sentinel theme on it.
Yo, that would actually be pretty sick.
I know, dude. That's gonna
That would be pretty sick, dude.
That's gonna be.
I'm thinking. I get caught up in the Marvel versus Capcom 2 video game because there's a lot of hype around it these days,
Yeah.
and that's an old school gem for me. But Sentinel was always a character in that game that was like,
Yeah.
he would make you rage quit, man, and it was just so much fun.
Yeah, and I know that's also Cole's subtle way of telling me to make a Sentinel font. Don't think I don't know, dude. I know what you're trying to do. Want me to make a Sentinel font?
I'll let Fourzze have all that.
He's trying to get somebody to do the entire X-Men collection.
If I had
Well-
time, man, I would. I love X-Men, especially the '90s show. Like that's what I grew up on, and it's 100% the best. So I would love to do a series of fonts for that, but man, I just do not have the time. Oh, it's terrible.
And
I'm blown away,
Myco
guys.
Greenleaf here wants to do something cool with hers. Don't know yet, but it's gonna be
Myco
nice.
is my niece, by the way. I don't know if he...
Oh, all right. Well then, hello.
Hi.
Hello.
I can't believe this. I wonder if I boxed it up, somebody's getting a bonus Saber.
Well then, they're gonna be real friggin' happy.
Yeah. That is
Oh my
just like
gosh.
I can't find it. This is the first time this has ever happened. Maybe it's like right behind my computer. No.
Well, let's move on to the next picture here. We have.
All right.
This was
Oh wow, that's
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
The Dark Luke.
Yeah,
That was fun. That one was awesome to build. I really like the battery reveal where it's actually spins and opens up where the battery is, and it's completely
crazy.
removable.
And down here,
What's
look
this
at
one?
this
Yeah.
work.
Now
That's
this,
really
this
freaking cool.
one was very interesting because I bought like 5 sabers off of, oh man, what's the dude's name? Everybody would know him. I can't think of his name right now, but anyway, he had like 5, and so I bought all 5 of them. This was one of them that was a messed up etch, and I wound up powder coating it and then sanding on it and then putting another like translucent powder coat over that. And then I made a removable chassis and everything with it. And I mean, somebody was asking me to build this for their daughter. So that's what I wound up doing. And it
That
just turned out
design,
great.
that
Yeah.
design to me kind of gives off this like Jedi Fallen Order Zepho Temple vibe.
Yeah. Looks like what a
it's
Dale
real
etched or
nice.
something.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Looks like something Dale etched, maybe.
I asked somebody, it may have been because I seen somebody that had one of these hilts like this. And I asked him if he done the etching. I sent him a picture of it and everything in the comment section. And he said that he didn't do it. So I don't know exactly for sure who did it, but I would like to know that they did an awesome job. And it was, like I said, it was kind of messed up. I could tell that it was one that they just, it had some bad parts in it. There were some rough parts in it that I wound up sanding off, but it just turned out great after I did all the powder coating to it.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Over here we have
That's cool.
dude, that grip.
Oh, that's
though.
that's the
These grips.
first Master Sentinel. That's the first Master Sentinel I did. Yeah, that one there I did for Brandon Benjamin, and those are brass shrouds. And Jeremy did the etching for the lettering and stuff there. That was a fun build right there.
That's ridiculous. What else we got? Oh my god.
Whoa.
Okay.
That's nuts.
What the? I think I saw that one. Oh,
Dang. It looks like a literal
Vi,
like piece of machinery.
Dude, if I were
you
to-
guys know who Vitali is?
Vitaly,
Yes, I know
yeah.
I know Vitaly.
Yeah. He, I actually made this one for him a while back. I called it the 3PO, and
I see
he
it.
tried to sell it. I mean, it's totally different now. It's not the same. I made this emitter on there on another one, and he said he wanted that one on this one because he wasn't able to sell it. And he's like, I'm going to send this to you if you can do this modification. So that's what I wound up doing there.
If I had to
actually
give
put
that a
that-
name, I would call it the Torch. That's awesome. As
That-
frick.
That is a lot of lot of drilling and tapping is what that is. That was something else.
That top emitter
Here we go.
looks tedious.
Yeah. Taking me back to
Yeah,
episode 2 here.
Oh yeah.
This was another install. Jawa's Junkyard it's I'm pretty sure that's who did that one.
Yeah.
I made a chassis for it and installed it and everything. I think.
That
No,
is-
wait a minute. That's somebody else's chassis. Oh, who is it? Oh,
It's a sliding chassis.
Shadow Crest. No,
Okay.
something Shadow Foil. It's something foil. What is
Shadowfoil?
Okay.
it? What?
I think Shadowfoil would be the
Shadow Foil.
Yeah.
Who runs that?
Oh,
Comment section, chime in
Is
if
it
you know.
Sam?
Sam Stevenson?
Yeah,
I think it's Sam Stevenson.
yeah. Sam Stevenson. Okay, yeah. He's the one that did this chassis for it, and I ordered it from him, and it was just awesome. But that's
Yeah.
just an install.
And then finally, we have. I saw this on your page and I had to snag it. That's
man.
just beautiful.
This
Yeah.
was interesting right here now. I made Paul Hager sent me this, and he wanted to be able to use use them as singular and as one hilt with the staff, And so I wound up making a dual battery, one board chassis for it to use for the staff. And then I made 2 separate chassis for the hilts separately. It was a lot of fun. You can't see it in the picture, but I'm trying to think if this was the one. No, I just powder coated it and everything. It turned out pretty good.
It really did.
That whole chassis that was down there, I had to print in the horizontal. I don't know if y'all have ever printed anything in horizontal, but it's pretty awesome. It's
Russell,
flat. You get a flat on the bottom of it, but
Yeah.
It is clear. It is plain to see for everybody in the comments, everybody on the screen, everybody who's been checking your work out to see that this is some pretty master level stuff. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
We have about 5 minutes left on the hour. Is there anything that you want to talk about, bring up briefly with anyone here in the room or in the comments section? Just I'm gonna give you the floor here for about 5 more minutes, and then I'm gonna open it up to the rest of the suspects at our 10 o'clock hour. Russell, the floor is yours. What do you got for us?
Well, I mean, we could talk about the negativity of toxicity in the lightsaber community, but no, we're not going to go that deep. Talk about.
Anything, promote yourself. Anything you want everybody to know as far as maybe this run moving forward. Just anything in general you want folks to know.
I think we covered the Master Sentinel pretty good. I'm drawing a blank. I'm a dude that builds lightsabers. That's
How about your
that.
lead time? How about your lead time for those that might want to commission you?
Oh boy. I try to get things out really fast, but I have several scratch builds right now that have been sitting on the burner for, well, I consider it too long. I try to get installs and stuff. I don't really even do installs. I never said that I did installs. It just kind of fell in my lap, People's like, hey, can you do this? And sure, and my main thing was just wanting to build lightsabers. So now I've got about a dozen installs in the shop. But I've got three or four scratch builds that I've got to get going.
Okay, so would you say at least a few months before you probably could open
Yeah.
up some stuff?
Yeah, but see, I also don't do things quite. I don't do it in the orthodox way, I guess. Sometimes if I've got an install that I know is going to take me a day, and I've got another build that I know is going to take 2 months, I'll do the install to get it to the customer. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah, it's just I don't always go in order.
Yeah.
I'm kind of giving this away, and I probably shouldn't be. But yeah, several months right now. If somebody was to contact me,
It's
it
a
would be
great problem to have, though. That
Yes,
just lends
yes.
further credence to what you do, which is great. So
Yeah,
people are probably more interested at that point, I would think.
Yeah. I mean, I announced in May that I wasn't going to do any more installs. And after I announced that, I had at least a dozen more installs in the shop. So it's like, hey, man, can't just do this one. Do this one. Can you
I'm
do
not gonna
these
installs
three?
anymore? Here's 12 more. Yeah.
Yeah. If I ever get in a situation where I don't have any business, all I got to do is
Just tell them you quit.
expose that I'm not going to do anymore.
Yeah,
There
just
you
tell them
go.
you quit, and here you go. But wait, do mine first before you quit. Okay, I'll do it.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's pretty much exactly what happened. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Russell, I want to say thank you very, very much for being here with us tonight. It's definitely an honor. No regrets at all. You've got, first of all, an absolutely unbelievable talent. The Sabers are impressive. It is without a doubt, without a shred, that these are going to sell out. 100%. You've got one hell of a thing going here, and I'm most impressive.
Hey, if you're part of the Repulse Collectibles Facebook group and you haven't already,
I am, yep.
please post everything you want. Post it in that group.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The more we can do to help get the word out on this, we will absolutely assist on that.
Please, by all means.
Yeah,
All right,
and
well, I appreciate it.
and also let us know, keep us informed on when deposits are up, or if you guys are even going to do deposits, because I am highly considering this.
One of the weird things, the way I do things is, I usually don't take any type of payments until I'm done with the job, just because my model has always been, if I don't have anything to sell you, I shouldn't take your money. But we're actually debating on, some people want to pay deposits, some people want to split the payment up so they don't have so much, when it finally hits the shelves. So I actually put out a filler on that today to see what people's thoughts are on it. And just like with anything else, there's all kinds of different responses on it. So I'm going to look over them and get with Shane. We're going to figure out how we're going to do that.
You've already got a handful
run.
of folks here who are ready, who are already ready to drop money on you.
Well, considering the pricing that, honestly, that pricing that you just mentioned earlier was like, where you were able to drop it down to around 300, keeping it around there. Oh, you're going to have a lot of people jumping on there.
That was one of the main things, was trying to get it at a low price, as low as possible. You know what I mean? And still make it worthwhile for us to do it, of course, but if it goes over well, we may do more, so I don't know.
Awesome.
I'd be excited for seeing more come up from your guys' minds. Jeez.
Yeah, it's good, man.
I really didn't think that the first run that I would do is if I actually thought I would ever do a run, because I really never had plans of that. But I didn't think it would be of somebody else's design. I thought it would be one that I'd done one that was I called the Reveal Saber, and it's the one from Noah. Noah, somebody help me out here. What's Noah's? He
Noah
does
Drew?
the orbs.
Noah Drew?
Noah
Yes.
Drew. Noah Drew. Yeah. Noah does those orbs.
The glass,
And-
dude, it's incredible.
Actually, Starfall Sabers.
Yep, Nick
Cannon. Cohen, right?
Nick Cohen. Yep.
He had done one, and it had where it kind of opened up, and I had these jaws in the shop, and I never even thought about doing that. So I reached out to Nick, and I'm like, Nick, I was showing him, and I was like, these would work in the same way. I just wanted to make sure he was all right with using, for me to make something like what you just made. And he was like, oh yeah, go ahead. And so he put me in touch with Noah. And so I ordered some of those orbs, and they just turned out awesome. So the jaws would actually open up, you lock them in place, and it was a through crystal chamber. So you flip it over, it's, you know, and it just turned out great.
Excellent. Well, we are at our 10 o'clock hour. Russell, like I had mentioned last night, you're welcome to hang with us for the night if you want, or if not, I'm going to open up the invite to the rest of our suspects to join in when and if they can, and we'll just basically talk Star Wars and shoot the breeze and nerd out or nerd up, as Jeff Birch likes to say.
Yeah.
I am going to have to take off. Unfortunately, I was actually planning on staying around. And then I got a text from my son, and he says, come and get me. So that's about 20 miles away. So I'm going to go get him before. And what time is it? It's already 9 now. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to head out and go get him. He's probably watching right now. And my daughter, who was supposed to bring him, is maybe she's watching too. So Sydney, you smacked,
dad moments
in trouble.
I do have to brag just a little bit on
Sure.
one of my children anyway that's joining the Marines. She ships out in October.
That's fantastic, man.
Congratulations.
She was almost valedictorian of her class, and she chose to go in the Marine Corps. So
that's awesome, man.
in the intelligence field.
Oh,
I'm not going to say anything bad about my daughter being goofy, but I'm just really proud of her. I'm proud of all my kids. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys having me on here. This has been a blast.
You're welcome anytime.
Anytime, man.
If any random Saturday night you just you want to hit me up and ask if you want to be on, we'll bring you in. That goes for every one of our guests. I don't ever want anyone to feel like they're one and done and not welcome to come back. Everybody's welcome to come back. This is why we collectively came up with the guest idea, because this is how we establish friendships. This is how we make you. This is how we put you in front of the community, both on Facebook and Instagram. And I honestly don't think in the history of us doing this live stream have I ever gotten a comment section so full of piqued interest. This is nuts.
oh yeah.
So definitely keep that communication factor jacked up.
Communication.
Communication.
Yeah.
And just watch it fly.
Hey, man, it's all
Seriously,
it's all
and
good.
thank
I'm
you.
loving it.
Thank you so much for being here with us. We are honored to have you.
I'm
and you're
honored to be
always
on the show,
welcome.
guys. I haven't watched that many of your shows, but I have watched enough to kind of know who you guys are and stuff. So it's my honor to be here.
I appreciate it.
You guys
All
do
so-
Hey, I
awesome
didn't
work.
ruin it. No, hey Russell, I'll be calling you in the coming weeks, man, and you can hit me up anytime. Again, it's great working with you, and
Yeah,
like
I'm
Aaron said, man, come back, please.
I appreciate it.
All right, sir. Well, thank you so much, and you have a good night.
Y'all be safe.
All right. Thank you, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Take
You
care.
too.
Thanks. Well, good evening, gentlemen. How the
Hello.
heck are you?
I'm good, and I'm sorry to say, but I have to go make dinner for the kids.
Oh,
Man.
that's all good.
But I will come back if you guys are still on. But I'm glad I was here for that interview. That was fantastic.
Dude,
Oh,
what a phenomenal, every bit of it phenomenal.
Our-
So awesome.
I
So
swear,
amazing.
every week we have a guest on, and it's just it's so nice to have like these little tidbits of the community coming out and showing who they are, what they're doing, and
No
the
doubt.
amazing stuff that they're putting out.
And the variety. The variety. I mean, we've had more fonts. We've had more font artists and Saber installers and makers than we have anybody else. But I mean, being able to mix it up.
Brian
Brian
the other day with the
That was great.
and that was
Yo, he was getting in it, dude. He was, I mean, dude, I was like, yo, I'm about to get hit from out of the screen, man. So it was great. And his energy, man, his positivity. I just love it.
Yeah, absolutely. The comment section, my God, I typically don't keep up with it because that was kind of on
You know
Jeff
what?
tonight.
I saw
But dude,
something.
Isaac is up in there killing it.
That's the comment right there from Isaac. That's what I told Russell yesterday when we talked to him, and I said, dude, there's gonna be somebody that hasn't heard of you that now they're excited that they did, and they're gonna want to give you money, and that's exactly right there. Proved it.
Yeah,
It's always honestly a little. You get someone out there, get their voice out there, and show off what they can do, and you'd be amazed who starts lining up because you never know. Ike's
Your
always
favorite Saber is right there, and you don't even know it yet.
Well, that thing, Ike's been there since like he's very big with the Dark Wolf stuff and everything. I see him commenting a lot on there. And then you introduce him to someone else. That's what this sort of thing is for. So
one of these days, got to get Isaac in the room.
Having Johnny on, man. When we had Johnny up in here, dude.
What a night! My God, that was great.
We need to get Johnny back. Like we need to get him. We need to get another episode out of him.
If he's watching, maybe he can just kind of hit me up and we can get him in the room right now.
Just involved, baby. Let's go.
Seriously. Yeah, Jeff, we're a little lacking on.
I will talk to you guys later.
Good to you, man.
We'll probably see you back later.
Yeah.
All right, later.
What's up, Jeff?
And boom.
Hey.
How are you, sir?
I am fantastic.
Nice. Tell me about it.
I am there's not much to tell. There's just what to show.
Oh, just that. Oh, that's no big deal, right?
Nah. Saber time, baby.
I went back and watched your Instagram video, by the way. I missed it when you live streamed it, but I saw the replay and I watched through most of it. And dude, yeah, sick.
Okay, so it probably went back into deep sleep. I've been playing with it and driving my family absolutely mental.
You underestimate the power of the dark side.
Do you know which one that is?
I think that's Fourze's. Yeah, that's Fourzze.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Sure is, with the Vader breathing and the whole 9 yards. No, I love it.
Dude, it's a black blade. That's awesome.
Yeah, on the green screen, it looks black, like a negative blade.
No, I have had so much fun with this thing over the last 2 days. It's unbelievable.
I want to hear that farm boy on there. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah. I don't have that one yet. I say yet. So.
Thought Mike loaded that up for you.
No, the ones that Mike loaded up for me that I have from Link
should be episode 1 Obi and the General, right?
I have the Learner, I have the Council, and I have the General.
Right.
I still need to get Farm Boy and the Mentor. For sure.
Now, I talked to our next guest earlier today, and I'll let you guys know at the after party who it is. But he just told me that he picked up Farm Boy, and that was darn near the greatest, hands down, greatest Graflex font he's ever heard.
Wow. That's a compliment.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Thank you.
All things considered, I'll tell you. Yeah, he's an old friend of mine.
You can message me.
But he's going to be our next guest.
Hey, it's interesting. Fourzze and probably Jeff by now know. I really don't try to toot my own horn, or I often sell myself short. I guess it's because I just kind of focus on making something I like or that I am really interested in. And in my mind, it's like a roll of the dice, whether someone really likes it or not. So if someone like really goes out of their way and is like, no, dude, this is like the best thing ever, that's super, super humbling for me. And it's such a compliment. And I just appreciate the community at large for any support they show to my work at any time. It's really cool to be a part of that. So if someone really likes my work, man, I'm so happy they're enjoying it. Really.
Speaking of which,
I can't wait to get because I do have your font, the Butcher, your Revan font,
Oh yeah.
and I can't wait to get that on this Saber as well.
I appreciate you, Cole. I see you.
Because now that I actually have a CFX Saber that'll play all the theatrics and all the extras that you guys threw in there,
I'm a troll.
I'm gonna have to go back and redo all of my videos on my channel.
Hey, Jeff, don't feel bad because like I really need to redo like all of my font demos too. And I'm kind of waiting. I'm cooking up some stuff in the background to kind of that way when it comes time for me to do it, they're just going to be more streamlined, more professional. So I'm working on it. But I mean, I don't even know. I've got more than 50 that need to be redone, and we're moving into a new house soon. So like basically I'm waiting to get in there, but I'm also trying to get a better Saber built up to get it done. So it may not happen until the beginning of next year for all I know, but whenever I do go to do it, it's going to be this massive undertaking. I'm like, oh man.
Well, so when Mike and I were talking about this, because I have all of Fourzze's fonts, he has all of Fourzze's fonts. We both have a fair amount of yours, as well as other stuff that's like there's 53 fonts on this Saber currently that
Hell yeah.
that I have to do. So that's like a fair amount of videos that I got to redo and add. So
Yep.
So, without even doing anything else to that Saber, I have content for months. So it's perfect.
And I actually did a count the other day, and just so you guys know, Repulse Collectibles. Just so you know. So just so you guys know, seriously, Repulse Collectibles is over 100 fonts strong. Over 100. Most of them are links.
Not anymore. I mean,
more than half. More than half.
Is it more than half?
Yeah.
When I dropped that cinematic collection, it was kind of nuts.
Oh, dude. And you got about 52. You got about 52 some odd fonts up there.
I still look at that and I'm like, why? Why do I do this to myself? Where I'm like, why can't I just be a normal and drop one at a time? No, I have to do 20 and it has to be all flashy and all this stuff. And I'm like, that's just me. I have a vision. I get a vision in my head and I'm like, no, it needs to be this way, all or bust. And then that's how it happens. It's like, well, I guess this is what it's going to be. So here we are.
Well,
Not that that's a bad thing at all.
No.
It's just so much work, man. People, even creating one sound font, even one. And I'm talking, it doesn't even have to be a great one. It could be like a meh. It could be an okay one. Even that is like hours and hours, let alone all the other craziness.
No, I know. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, you get those fans out there that, I mean, even the characters that they hate, you guys put so much heart and effort into those fonts that even the characters they hate, they love the fonts. Because
why do I sense Ponkrell in your statement there?
Because that's exactly where I'm going with this. Because like I said, I don't like that character. I never liked that character in the Clone Wars. But I love that font. I love being able to have this Saber and get those spins to work the way you designed them to, and they sound deadly.
Yeah.
Right? Like even Link's fonts, like Brandon, you and I were talking about how some of my fonts sounded on that Electrum, how they didn't sound quite right. Mm-hmm. Now that I've heard them on the Aaron from Saber Trio, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and again, it's the people over at Electrum, those guys they work so hard and they have really cool sabers
yeah.
and everything else. But the firmware is not quite there yet. They're working on it, and I want them to perfect it, and I'm rooting for them to perfect it because they do make really amazing stuff and they're great people. But yes, as of today, right now, yes, there is a pretty stark contrast in performance, and it is noticeable. So
and I thought
yeah.
they sounded pretty decent originally, and with the update, and compared to the way they are now on this Saber trio, like I get what you're saying. So
Yeah, and is it a CFX?
yes,
Yeah, so even CFX, every board has their quirks and how they operate and different things. I know the CFX can sometimes have kind of an interrupt for just a millisecond on the smooth swings. If I'm not mistaken, Profi's basically got it down pat as far as the smooth swings go. It's like Profi has the crispiest and pretty much perfect smooth swing.
Algorithm.
CFX has a little bit of an interrupt, but then and then Electrum, they still got some work to do, but it's still a really fun experience. And Golden Harvest I would say is kind of, in my experience, they're basically right up there with Profi in terms of all the crazy stuff they can do. And the smooth swing's good. I know when you're switching between fonts or colors, it's a little bit more, there's a different millisecond transition, so it kind of operates a little different than those boards. But for the most part, yeah, I mean, Profi, CFX, Golden Harvest, I mean, that's your the trifecta, right? So at least right now, today, right, as things evolve, things will change. But overall, yeah, super solid experience all around.
And it's so funny getting into the community, because I was like, well, I need a lightsaber, so I started looking, wanted to get into it. I bought a Force Effects had Kylo Ren.
Nice.
And that was kind of like buying a Volkswagen. and then I went and I bought some LGT sabers, and that was like going to an Audi. And then I bought the Electrum, which is like going to a Bentley in terms of quality.
And then you get the Lambo.
And now with
Lambo.
Now with the Saber trio, this is like the Rolls Royce.
Hey, there you go. Hey, I feel that, bro. That's a lot of people don't know about Rolls Royce, man. Let me tell you something. You want the freaking what's Tony Montana gonna roll up in, right? You know what I mean? Like,
dude,
yo, get away from me with your cockroaches, Listen. Oh man, I love Rolls Royce.
Cole's
Rolls
saying
Royce
he's
is great.
Cole's saying he's gonna learn how to install Golden Harvest so he can give it a spin, probably in a Graphics.
Yo, look, I'm a big fan and supporter of Frederick Foltz over at Saber Tech, who they make the Golden Harvest board. It's a fantastic product. Highly, highly recommend. If you can add it to your collection, you will not be disappointed. It will take a little bit of a learning curve. I would say, in terms of like difficulty jumping in to learn, I would say CFX first. It's kind of like the easier one, then Golden Harvest, then Profi. But at the same time, I say that lightly because it is kind of personal preference, right? Because there's tons of people that love the open source and just how deep you can dive with Profi and how and look, I'm not gonna play it up lightly or anything. Look, Profi has the most customizing options, period. It's basically unlimited. So, I'm not here to downplay anything, but Frederick Foltz over at SaberTech with Golden Harvest, fantastic human being. I've partnered with him a couple of times. Myself and Fourzze have provided exclusive fonts that are part of their default package. So when you get a Golden Harvest soundboard, you will hear Fourzze and Minds and a bunch of other amazing sound font artists work as part of their default solution. So if you can add it to your repertoire, please, it's fantastic.
And and how it went down, honestly, I mean, theatric stuff isn't even added
No,
in
no.
the fonts that come default on Golden Harvest. I mean, you got to get that exclusively from me. And what's really nice, is that for those who are still purchasing from Saber Forge, if you get a hero tier, I mean, that comes with Golden Harvest and
Yep.
all of those fonts. I mean, you get it right off the bat,
Yep.
which is really, really nice.
It is. It's really great.
I make it a point because I'm still a member. I'm still a member of that page on Facebook, and I let
Same
folks
here.
know. I let them know. I was like, if you just bought a hero tier, here's the fonts, here's the creators, here's where you get them. Because I mean, people need to know. And something, I and take this for what it is. It's an observation. Most custom stuff, the people out there who add that little something extra to your Saber in terms of
All the
service.
spice.
A little spice and some excitement.
Yeah.
They I noticed that because I've been in this community forever, and Brandon's been in this community forever times too. It's becoming a little more difficult to be found. And I'm not just talking me. I'm talking about it went for, especially on Instagram, and this guy's seriously, like, I've noticed a huge difference between the Instagram Saberland members and the Facebook Saberland members. First of all, the Instagram members are a younger crowd. That it's probably their first time being exposed to the Saber community. They probably don't even know that Saberland is a community in and of itself. They just get in. They find the first font maker they see. They find the first installer they see. And they get their Saber from X company that they hear of right off the pop. Facebook obviously has groups, forums, people who've been in it a long time. People who know stuff, like they actually know stuff. It's like, in Facebook, you'll come across people who will ask you the question, "You've been here for how long and you've never heard of so and so?" Like, that's the kind of stuff. Whereas on Instagram, you're going to see a lot of excited people talking about, "Bro, yo, check out this LGT. Yo, check out this freaking Electrum, like, this is the greatest, clearest, bestest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, oh my God." Like, takes me back to my 2014 days of being exposed to Ultra Sabers for the first time. I was like, oh my God.
Look, when I first joined the hobby, I think the first things I saw was I saw the same companies that everybody sees when you first join.
Oh yeah.
And I'll just say that. And it's the same. Look, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? It's like, that you're going to see what you see, and then if you're, a lot of people get more excited, they want to learn more. Now, oh, this exists. What else exists? And they start checking it out, and then you go down, and then you're sucked down the rabbit hole, and then it's like, and then you're broke and you're divorced, and that's it, right? No, and then no, and then you start to see the custom side of it, and then you start, oh, well, what's a sound font? Then you start digging on that, and then you start saying, oh, well, this guy, like, dang, this one has like leather and crazy etched patterns, and they have crystal chambers.
Crystal chambers?
Yeah, it's like, it's like,
freak is this?
I need that. And then, meanwhile, the wife's like, no, you don't. It's like,
sleeping on that couch, B.
Yeah, and then you're foreclosed on your house, and you got a Saber.
That's exactly how it happens. You start going down the rabbit hole, and then and then your wife's like, "You got another live stream this weekend with all those guys?" Yes, I do.
Dude, hey, look, Mrs. Jeff is like the badass of wives. I'm sorry, she's super freaking cool, man.
Jeff is still here. That's
dude.
Great.
I'm still waiting for her to poke her head around the green screen and be all like,
yeah.
She did earlier in the stream.
Like photo bomb, but like on video.
Yeah, she stream bombs us.
Yeah, stream bomb.
You missed it. She did it earlier.
Oh. Yeah,
When-
no,
That's
that's
awesome,
so awesome,
bro.
man. That's what I love is like the three of us, we all, our wives, like for the most part, support what we do, at least enough to let us do it, and that's about all you could really ask, I would imagine,
Well,
that's,
my wife
Oh
just
my
the Lego art where they have the new Sith one where you can
Maybe.
either do the Darth Vader picture, the Kylo Ren picture, or the Darth Maul picture out of the little like tiny dots.
oh, interesting.
Have you seen that?
Uh-uh.
Okay, well, my wife bought me that for my birthday, gave it to me last night. So she's encouraging content because the last one I did was the Iron Man one for Marvel, and it took me 3 months.
Whoa.
So that's a lot of. Actually, she's gonna peek her head around.
Oh, there she is.
Where is she? Where are you? Yeah.
It's like Batman. Where are you?
Where is she?
Where is she?
So
Oh, snap.
and it's like tiny little pieces.
It's Lego?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
And you can do Darth Maul, Darth Vader, or Kylo Ren. There she is in the background.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
And then my kids got me these 3D like paper puzzle models. So we've got according to Disney, we've got Boba Fett's starship. Now
Okay.
it's Slave One people.
Slave One.
It's Slave One.
Yep.
And then we got the Razor Crest and the Sandcrawler.
Oh,
so
dude, that's cool. The Razor
I'm
Crest. Hell yeah.
so excited to build these. So I got content for years on my YouTube channel between the lightsaber and the birthday gifts I got last
Yeah,
night.
dude.
Nice, man.
That's cool.
I don't know
So-
how you're going to have time to build Legos when you're swinging around that errand.
Seriously.
Oh well, I'm
He's like,
building
well, there
a lot
is that problem.
I have a lot of problems.
I
I
have
got
a-
90 I got 99 problems.
This is like turning into like a therapy session, man. It's
Serious.
like Sabers Anonymous or something.
Right?
So going back to the differences here. So Liam had mentioned right after he called his mom that
Nice.
so he says Instagram is great for Sabers. Heard Facebook is kind of toxic.
Is it-
You know,
It could be anywhere, man. Look, toxicity is gonna
Exactly.
be. It's gonna be everywhere. You filter. Be a duck. Water rolls right off the back. You're
Yep.
smooth sailing. Everything's gravy.
yeah. What's the one thing I would emphasize is remember why you're here. If you're here to enjoy the company of those who are fans and you like doing this stuff together like I do, like here on the Suspects, man, we're a family. If lightsabers disappear tomorrow, I still got my crew. If you're in this for the sabers and only the sabers, then good for you. You got something you can do, for yourself or for your own family, and it's always something meant to be enjoyed. And we're happy, that whatever it is that we provide, be it fonts or reviews or etching and powder coating, whatever it is, we're just happy and proud to do our part. I seriously need to kind of get back into the pilot's seat here and get going, but I now own the place I'm sitting, so
Yay.
I'm happy.
Hell
So
yeah, man.
there's
I'm right behind
there's-
you. We're
there's
closing on
stuff-
ours in a couple weeks. So
No doubt. There's definitely stuff coming up. What is
did you mention on stream the other thing? The what? Well, let me just message you on Facebook and because I can't say anything, it would ruin it.
Oh, okay.
Did you mention this?
Wait for it. And with a Sentinel font. See, he knew.
There
always-
you go. Did you mention that, Aaron?
What are you cooking?
Uh-oh.
Okay. Did you add enough water? Yeah. Okay.
Thank goodness mine don't cook yet.
Yeah, Aaron.
Yeah. They,
I don't know if
yeah,
you
I-
had mentioned that before on
yeah,
stream.
I mentioned it on the last one.
Oh, okay.
And
wanna say
on the
nothing.
next one, you'll meet them live.
Oh, cool.
So
Yeah, that'll be great.
So that's gonna be really cool. But yeah, so happy birthday there, Jeff.
And
Is that
happy
today?
birthday to you. No,
that
it's
today?
It's Tuesday.
Well, happy early birthday. Hells yeah.
Thanks.
You look like a fresh and clean 29. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
I added 10.
He's like, he goes with it. I love it. That's why I like Jeff. He just goes with it.
I'm not gonna argue. That's better
Hey, man.
that's better than taking your kids to the gym and having some guy look at you and go, "Isn't that great when you can bring your grandkids to the gym with you?" And I'm
Oh
like,
my
"Oh,
God.
no,
Oh my God,
no." And then my wife wonders why I adjust for men.
Hey, man. You got to do what you got to do. Hey, look. You see how this thinning out, bro? You know what I'm saying? I put the gel in because I'm like, hey, you got to enjoy it while it's there because once it's gone, that's it.
Are
It is what it is.
you rocking the reverse yarmulke look?
No. No, not yet anyway. Not yet. No, and honestly,
that's good.
if it gets to that point, I'm just going to like buzz it and wear a hat or something. I don't know.
Isaac is hilarious. Ike, you're funny.
We
39.
gotta get this
I
dude.
wish.
Yo, we need to get him on the screen. All right,
Yes,
because
we
he's
do.
been at every single one of these things, and
Yeah.
we need to get him on the freaking screen and chilling with us because it is chill time. Where the freak is everybody tonight, man? Where is Johannan? Where is?
It's,
I don't know.
It's Saturday on a holiday weekend, man. They're
Oh,
partying
that's
it up.
right.
It's Labor Day
that's
weekend, baby.
right.
It's just
Crap.
us boomers up here, man.
Seriously.
Right?
Hey, ain't no
it's the
20-year-old
old
got
guy's
time for
dream.
that.
What, child?
These 20-year-olds, man, they're out at the bars trying to make it happen. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Cole, you're ridiculous.
Uh-oh.
Just ridiculous.
Yep, holiday weekend,
Wow.
man.
That's
Yes, it
too
is.
much.
It is.
I'm
So
we actually
so
I was a little bit late because we were out to dinner with some family ourselves. So that was a blast. It was really
Very
nice.
good.
and that's why I didn't make the pre-screen interview last night was because my wife's like, "Oh, by the way, we're going out for dinner," and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
So-
Jeff, we got to take you to do your cake stands and everything, man.
Right?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I never told anybody about this, but so yeah, we pre-screen. Like we go to the trouble and we find our guest, and then we do like this whole pre-screen thing, and we give them the rundown of how we do things here and the questions we'll probably ask, and we basically let the folks know that that's their hour, and
Yep.
that's their time that we respect, and we let them know that their time is theirs to say what it is they need to say, but to also respect their own time by not focusing on like competitors, things like that, because I mean that just brings attention to stuff that they don't want. So it's a really good formula.
You have to.
I'm happy that we do it. It works.
Well,
Yeah.
and I mean that just lets people know how much work actually goes into us putting these live streams together. The legwork to reach out to guests and hope that they respond, and
yeah.
and sit down with them, and then you set up pre-screens and that guest. Well, I mean, like with what happened with Ray last time.
Ray Kenix was so cool.
Yeah, but I mean, we went to do the pre-screen, and she messaged me later that night and said, "Sorry, I got stuck in studio doing voiceover work." So, I mean, sometimes things don't work out, but we do still put a lot of legwork into getting these people on screen and sharing them with all you people that are watching.
Cue Fourzze's jealousy with that, by the way.
With what?
That's my ultimate dream. That's my ultimate dream.
Voice
You know,
acting,
I
yeah.
I love doing this.
Oh,
and I
voiceover,
love
yeah,
making
yeah, yeah.
fonts. But
I would
more
love
than
to take some classes and be taught because I have a lot of fun being a goofball with like voices and stuff. Speaking of which, Ian mentioned he would love to come on. So
he's got the invite.
oh, he does. Okay, cool.
He's got it.
I know he does stuff, and I'm like, I've never done anything like in a serious manner, but I would love to take a class and stuff because I don't know what I'm capable of, if anything. Maybe I'm not, right? But like when I mess around and do crazy voices and stuff and I have fun with it, I've had people more than once tell me, hey, you should do something with that. I'm like, well, I don't even know where to start, or, so I would love to do something like that one day, even if it whatever it ended up being. I joke around with like a movie trailer voice, but in reality, maybe I'm not really good at that. Maybe instead I'm better at like narrating something, but I have no clue, right? But I want to take steps eventually to like find out what that might be, right? It is exciting.
Just honestly, dude, just continue to do what you do. I mean, gone are the days of going to college, majoring in, in our case, that would be acting, or studio, or not studio, stage acting, going through all that stuff. I mean, you got kids, freaking, end of their run teenagers, 17, 18 years old, just spouting off on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, and then
Yeah.
boom, they got $1 million contract.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy.
It's pretty disgusting, to be truth. If I'm going to be truthful about it.
Hey, man, but look, God bless them, right? I mean, they have a
Right.
gift and they got noticed, and it's like, sure, things just fall on certain people's laps, but look, I think it comes back to no matter who you are. Look, if you want something, go for it, man. Don't let nothing get
Sure.
in your way, and that's what I'm going to do. Here's what got me making voices and being a jokester and everything in the first place is there's a comedian. His name is Pablo Francisco. He's hilarious. He's an OG stand-up comic, but he had a real big inspiration from Don LaFontaine, which, if you know who that is, Don LaFontaine he has since passed. He was the main guy behind movie trailers for 20, 30 years, probably more than that. Yeah, he's the In a World guy. Like, he's the original, like the main OG guy, Don LaFontaine. So Pablo Francisco does a really like almost perfect impersonation of Don LaFontaine, and he would put that in his stand-up routine. And one of his most famous ones is called Little Tortilla Boy. I highly, highly recommend you look it up. And basically, it's what Pablo Francisco is doing is he's doing a bunch of imitations at one time. So he's basically narrating a trailer, but he's doing the movie voice, but he's also acting like he's Arnold. So like, imagine watching a movie trailer, but in audiobook form is basically the stand-up piece that he's doing here. And that's what got me like laughing and trying to do some of these voices too, because he's like, he's like, well, no, yeah. I'm trying to remember how the skit goes, at least the part of it. But he's like, in the city, you must fight to survive. He sold tortillas on the corner, but the mob wanted in. Hey, I don't know who this guy is, but I want him and his tortillas. I want him dead. And he's like, Karina, get down. They're trying to steal my tortillas. Do you do it? He had one chance. And it's like all this stuff. And it's like it's the most hilarious skit ever. And that's what he's doing. He's doing all these sound effects and voices, and he's so good at it, right? He's like so professional with it. And I would love to just mess around and see what happens, I think it's great.
Yeah, I like to tool around with voices too. I'll tell you what, one I'll do that will probably get me in trouble, but it was the funniest friggin' thing at the time. It was like probably 3 years ago. I had some old friends, and one of the funniest things that I have, it's regarding Saberland, okay? So take it for what it is. But it was Jeff. I'll ask Jeff first. Jeff, have you ever seen any of the old Ultra Sabers videos? Have you ever seen any of them?
Oh man,
He knows where I'm going. Whoa, check out the stash, bro.
Oh, snap, bro. Look at this guy.
What up, dude?
Hey guys.
Oh, even in his fabled beard company stuff.
Oh, I'm loving it. So you're just in time to hear this story. Brandon, you remember?
Really just walked in my room.
Nice. So I was talking about the old Ultra Sabers videos. Old ones, dude.
Ones.
I'm talking the old ones.
Oh, you
like,
guys in the office and goes, "Hey, why are you doing that without me?"
no, not that one. But I do remember that one. My God. No, I'm talking about when it's just his hand, and in this Morgan Freeman-esque voice, he would be like, he'd be like, well, hey there, y'all. This is Emre from Ultra Sabers.
Yeah.
Today we're going to reveal a new Saber for you. It's fantastic.
It's almost like a mix of like Cleveland and Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Peter, what you need to do is get yourself an Ultra Saber.
Yeah.
Actually, Cleveland, no, I think I'm going to go with someone else. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Why, Peter? Why you gotta go that far? Why you gotta do me like that?
Yeah.
Dude,
the three all need to do a Family Guy font together.
Oh God.
Oh,
is it,
speaking of which, guys, you're the only one that doesn't know, because I told Jeff and Fourzze I'm thinking about doing a voice project.
Okay, what you got?
Let's go.
Read 50 Shades of Grey in different character voices.
Oh my God.
Oh wow, that'd be hilarious, dude. That's definitely an adult session.
Yeah, like I'm just mentioning it here, but I'm not gonna actually like read or do anything like that.
Sure.
Well, no, we got to keep it PG-13. Don't forget.
I'm trying to keep that in mind because I know I let it.
Coming this Saturday, 50 Shades of Ian.
Just please.
As told by Peter frickin' Griffin.
Yeah.
Right?
As told by Lewis and the Fat Man.
This sounds fantastic. Come on, do it.
Do it.
Come
Do
on.
it now. Oh my gosh, dude.
Oh man.
Dude, we haven't had
But
like
the
just
but the
legit
movie
chill
but the
time in a
movie
while.
radio voice thing is probably the only thing that I've ever really messed with that people have said, hey, there might be something to that. And like again, and how do you even, I guess I would rather be interested in taking a class rather than like try to get on some kind of gig, because like God, I can't even imagine how hyper competitive.
It totally is.
I mean, it's so oversaturated,
totally
and it's like
is.
I went on Fiverr.com and I was looking at gigs and stuff, and I'm like, everybody's doing the commercial voice, radio voice, movie voice. Like it's, I mean, it's like, how do you choose? They're all, I mean, there's just so much. But my counter argument to that, and what I was telling you for is who cares, right? Do a gig for $5 or $10, and I think it's like anything else. If you start building up a client list, hey, and it never happen if you don't do it. So even me, when I move into my house and I got this office set up, I'm actually planning on doing that. I'm going to say, hey, you know what? Here's a gig for $5. I'll do, a voicemail voice. So-and-so is not here right now, but it sucks to be you, like whatever, and just see what happens.
Leave a message at the tone.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, it goes back to, that big Corona, because everybody's at home and you got to find a way to make money at home. And if you've got a nice expensive mic and a good voice, then
it's perfect. Work from home.
Yeah. So yeah, everybody wants to work from home. Everybody wants to chill at their own house and make money, and that's one of the number one ways to do it. One class I was going to recommend to you, bro, was Crispin Freeman's voice acting workshop. Because I mean, most of the voices I do come from anime.
I said it.
I'm not really. Huh?
I sat in on one of his live ones.
Did you?
It was only one time, but it was absolutely fantastic.
I was gonna say because he's been doing it now for about 7-8 years. I mean, he's got a whole freaking art form. I was always curious as to how that went. And he's like, I mean, if you go back and you play a lot of games, especially some RPGs and whatnot, he's in everything. He's in, and you never know it's him until you start piecing it all together. It's like he's almost like that dude from Skyrim. Like he's just every dude voice.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of different though, because they only had room to, I guess the writing and maybe the budget or something. There was obvious limitations there in the Skyrim setting, right? You had the one guy that sounds like Arnold, and then you have the other voice, and that's basically about it. You know what it is? They spent all their money on Christopher Plummer for the Graybeard guy. That's what they did. Because Christopher Plummer's a freaking legend. You know what I mean? So I bet you they blew all their budget with him.
Seriously.
And then Lydia's the best. I am sworn to carry your burdens.
I would love to get into voiceover at some point. I mean, I've been saying this for 22 years. But for what I want to do, it's so freaking niche. I mean, there were so many changes that had happened. Like, when they recast Brock on Pokemon, like that seriously pissed me off. But it's just what it is.
Oh no, Brock's not Kaiba anymore.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like he took that.
How do you think the Dragon Ball fans are going to feel when they don't get the little old lady to voice Goku anymore? I mean, she's still there as far as I know, but I mean, she's getting up there in age, man.
Yeah.
She's been doing it for 25, 30 years since the beginning, literally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the same thing with The Simpsons. I mean,
I literally will not watch Dragon Ball in English dub. I won't do it. I listen to it in Japanese audio with English subtitles. That's how I prefer it that way. Yep.
Okay.
I think I'm not knocking the English voice actors at all. I'm not.
Yeah.
I think they're incredible, but it's just different.
Now, okay. Now let me ask you a question, because let me ask everybody a question, because this has been up for debate a long time. And comment section, if you know about it, chime in.
Long time.
Long time. So, DBZ has an abridged cast. And that has been up for debate a lot. I mean,
What do you mean? I'm not into it like you guys are, so educate me.
Okay, so there's a group called Team 4-Star. Okay. And they took clips of the show and they made an abridged version with their own millennial humor.
Interesting.
So, yes. It's very funny. It is very funny, and it is also very, very adult. But I'm kind of on it because
it doesn't sound like something I would enjoy.
It's actually really well done. It's very, very hilarious. But that is a free project they voluntarily took on.
Yeah, it would have to be free.
They have been taken to court by Toei Animation several times.
Oh yeah,
because they're posting footage that does not belong to them.
Yep.
And they are profiting from it. Now, they put a disclaimer that says this is a non-profit fan-based parody. However, they receive money through donation website. And sorry, that's how you slice it, because it clearly states, do you like our content? Please donate here. You're taking payment.
It's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope because that is like a huge legal gray area, and it really will come down to the courts and how much money people want to spend. And
my dude,
hey, what up, Aaron? How are you, brother?
Guys? Yeah, sorry I'm late to this party. I was at a birthday party.
Nice.
Man.
And but you couldn't come to this birthday party.
Hey, I made sure to make time to come to this birthday party as well.
Nah, you know what? You're fired.
Don't you let them bully you like that. Look, you kicked him out. What the hell? Don't you bully
Man.
him.
He's got demoted.
No, but no, so do I think they're funny? Absolutely, I believe they're hilarious. The content is great. It's very adult.
I might have to check it out. I mean, I'm always interested to give things a shot, you know?
Do I think that they should be making money from it? No, because that
Yeah,
stuff
that's
doesn't
dicey,
belong
man.
to them.
That's very dicey.
Yeah, you know, they make you know, money other ways, and they do other things, you know, besides DBZ Abridged. I mean, they got all kinds of content. They really do, and my hat's off to them for what it is they've done. And they've been a studio for about 10 years. But the point of what I'm trying to say is they are another group of guys who basically self-discovered themselves and did this thing and got a group of people who were like, finally DBZ with cursing. It's so great. And it got this enormous millions and millions following them. And now, you know, they took that and basically now have careers.
There was something like that. Maybe 7 or 8 years ago, maybe a little longer, where these people, like prominent actors and directors, basically did an adult, like R-rated version of Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all might have seen it. They had actual big name actors. They had the dude. They had the dude from Dawson's Creek in there, and he was like one of the Rangers. And then, I mean, this was like this painted the Power Rangers in a light where it was like, you know, the Black Ranger had like, you know what? I'm not gonna describe the show because it is adult. It's more, you know, R-rated stuff. But my point is like what you were saying. This was a studio who took an IP and kind of did their own version of it, and yeah, it got massive legal backlash. Even though they did it for free, it got, because it's, you know, it's still misrepresenting the ideals of that IP that the original creators, you know, they wouldn't have wanted that representation. So, but it got hugely popular.
I think I saw that. Was it an actual show, or was it just like a trailer that they did?
It was like a 1 episode live action one-off. It was like a pilot piece.
Yeah,
you know?
and they one of the Rangers was dead already or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was like, it was like pretty, it was R-rated. I mean, I really thought it was awesome. I thought it was really awesome.
It was really well done. You're right.
It was very well done. But, you know, and the funny thing is, like Aaron was saying, is like, there is absolutely a market for it. It was huge. It got so big. Like they took it to court, but the video had just went syndicated throughout the entirety of the internet. So the damage was done. That was it. And you can still find it. So, but especially the point is there's a market for that kind of stuff.
There is. And I think it's damaging. It's damaging to original creators. I mean, I'll say this, okay? And I can't speak for anybody who's been a part of a major production and then have somebody, basically a nobody, come from underneath them and just kind of, you know, take the carpet from underneath them. But it's damaging to people, you know, who are involved on a project for so long. I can't imagine what it must be like to be Sean Schemmel, the voice of Goku, to be at a con and to meet all these fans and to do a panel and talk about his career and talk about the show and talk about what the characters mean. And then the very first question he gets is, hey, can you say that line from Abridged? Like, that's damaging. That's damaging to somebody.
I mean,
like, it is. I mean,
I get it, but I don't know that I agree with, like, I mean, yes, sure. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but at the same time, I feel like, you know, the people are going to do what they're going to do, and you're going to get that. You're going to get piracy. You're going to get misrepresentation. it doesn't matter what medium or what product you create, there will be those who decide to change and alter it and this and that and the other, and that's part of the territory. So, I mean, yeah, I could understand that point of view, but at the same time, like, you know, I find it very interesting, and I think a good company can look at something like that and say, you know, is this something that we could maybe take the idea and then write up something custom and see if we can create something that appeases that market and whether or not that makes sense to do. And I could understand with something like Dragon Ball or Star Wars or Dragon, you know, or Power Rangers.
Power Rangers.
Like, yes, they probably looked at that and said, wow, that was massively successful. There's a huge market there. But at the end of the day, this is a family IP and that's not how we want to be represented. Or, you know, like this, I find this topic very interesting, especially when it comes to Star Wars. Obviously, the general consensus would probably be like, no, this is Star Wars. It's always been a family thing. We don't want it to have R-rated content and all this stuff. But the funny thing I find is Marvel does have some R-rated content, number one.
Some of it, yeah.
Number two, which is owned by Disney. Number two, when you take a world like Star Wars and you look at the evil Sith side of things, how do you not have something to appease that market? Because these are truly evil beings that hack people to pieces for fun and drunk on power and everything else. And it's like, I think it is an untapped market. And look, it's all about marketing and messaging. If you explain from the jump that, hey, look, we're developing this project. This is going to be for adults. This is very dark, very more adult centric. There's, you know, this is the Sith, the evil, whatever you want to call it. And this is what to expect. You know, it's all in the messaging and how you present it. But Star Wars is ripe for a side of the hobby like that. And I'm not saying get like super, you know, nothing sexual or anything like that. I'm just talking about like,
or even gory.
Well, no, I am saying that. Like if you know, if there's a dismember, you know, it cuts his arm off and there's a little bit of blood or something. I mean, like that's it would, if someone presented that kind of content in like the Sith side of things, I could see that. It, you know, it seems like something that would exist. Look, this Star Wars is a world, a sci-fi fictional world where you have empires, slavery, you know, crime syndicates, you know, gangsters, all these things. It's like, and so how does these things not exist? The point is that they do exist. You just, you know, it's presented in a family screen where you know it's there, but we don't have to focus on that specifically. But yeah, when you're talking about the Sith lords of ancient days and stuff like that, of course that stuff's in there. It's just even in the audiobooks I listen to, I hear about like Darth Plagueis frying somebody with lightning, and they're describing the boiled skin charring up and popping because he's just being fried alive. And it's like, you know, it's there. It's absolutely there. So there's a market for it. I don't know. I could understand if there'd be a huge blowback if Star Wars did it, but I wouldn't be opposed to it as long as the messaging was fair and upfront. That way parents knew and everyone knew what to expect.
I think they I think when you have original go ahead, Jeff. Real quick.
And I think that is extremely important, right? Because I mean, my kids are 6,
right,
and they're into the Star Wars, they're into the Marvel, and we're watching What If right now, and that last episode, if you haven't seen it, it might have been a little too dark and mature for a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised my kids didn't have nightmares. So,
wow.
And that's the thing is, you have to be careful on that. Like, I know there's things coming in the What If series that I'm not going to let my kids watch.
Yeah.
So.
Again, I think it, like, you can present whatever material. I wouldn't, like, me personally, I would never advocate for anything sexual or explicit like that. I'm just talking more on the, like, a little bit more gore, maybe a little bit of adult language. But I'm not a parent yet. So, but I do sympathize with that, where I think, like, if you do Star Wars, if they did venture into that a little bit, I think your messaging and marketing needs to be very clear and upfront with parents, because Star Wars is family, right? It's a family IP. It's always going to be that. And I think it'd be okay to jump in that a little bit off that, more adult centric stuff as far as gore or just, whatever you want to call that, right? Even more intense lightsaber fights where, like, maybe it's not so much the blood and gore as it is like, the drama that's involved with defeating an enemy and like how graphic that can be, just from a drama and emotional standpoint, like, yeah, I'd be okay with it, but they do have to make sure, like, hey, everybody needs to know exactly what this is, what to expect, and hey, don't bring your 6-year-old, right? That's not what this is for. So that's kind of how I feel about it.
I got to admit, episode 3 was a bold move on their part. I mean, because they showed a person burning alive. I mean, there's a magnitude in that. Like that, Star Wars took a major leap when they did that. I mean, everybody knew it. And that's the thing about, see, if we're gonna keep this about Star Wars, let's talk about it this way. Star Wars has a way of letting you know exactly what's happening, and they allow you to paint that picture in your mind. And that's all they need to do, with the exception of episode 3. Episode 3, you saw a living, breathing dude burning the freak alive. And that's just what it was. There's a big difference between burning alive and the Rogue One hall scene. And everybody flipped their minds when the Rogue One hall scene was a thing. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. Just about every hardcore Star Wars dark fan out there wants 35 to 45 straight minutes of a hall scene or scenes like that. Like they, it's expected that when people ask for a Vader series or a Vader movie, it's just going to be 45 to an hour of him with quippy little one-liners that he does in Empire, and he's just cutting people down, and people would be they'd be like, "Yo, that's the best Star Wars ever made. He just doesn't stop. He's so dark. It's so edgy. I so love it." That's what they want. That's exactly what they want. Who is Isaac? Isaac brings up a great point. Scene 38. Scene 38 is another example.
That was really well done, reimagining.
It was phenomenally
done. That was really
done.
good. It was very well done. I liked it.
Now, but here's my question. Did it need to be done?
I don't think so.
Jeff?
The way I viewed it is I thought it was something that people said, you know what, like a what if, like, what would that be like if we saw a little more of that battle? And then they executed what I thought was a really great idea. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it needed it. I think it was just an additive what if kind of cool concept.
Yeah. It's there's just something about it.
Apparently I fell
There's
asleep.
Our boy.
Hey guys.
Apparently I look like I fell asleep. I don't know what's going on with my camera.
You froze.
He froze.
Wake up, birthday boy.
Yeah.
I'm definitely frozen.
Yeah.
So I don't understand the scene 38 reference, but
Someone's got to send it to him. It's pretty cool.
You've seen scene 38, haven't you, Jeff? It's the one where it's the CGI Vader and old Ben fighting.
Yeah, it's nice thing.
No.
Oh my God! Somebody send it to him.
I'm
gonna send it to you, dude.
Hold up, I'm on it.
You on it?
When we're talking about how episode 3 we saw Anakin get his legs cut off and he's burning. Let's take it back even farther than that. When Obi-Wan pulls his lightsaber in the Mos Eisley canteen and cuts Walrus Man's arm off, or Luke pulls up to the farm and you see
Oh, yeah.
Uncle and Brew
Yeah.
And there's just burnt
burning
crisp,
in
man.
burning in the background. And I mean,
Skeletons.
so I mean, they have done it to a degree in the past.
To a degree.
And there's a certain. It just seems like there's a certain bar that they won't, or a line that they won't cross with it.
Exactly. So the burning, so the crispy skeletons, that paints you the picture.
Right.
But and this is gonna get me in trouble, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. I don't need 45 minutes to an hour of a Vader episode with exploding heads. I don't need him using the Force and exploding heads, and I don't need Saw. I don't need Darth Saw. Okay, I mean, what has for Brandon's got all the freaking noises.
Yeah, it just takes his head in his head and just implodes his face. Like oh my
merge
god!
Invincible and Vader.
Yeah, seriously, I don't need that.
Invincible and the boys for.
It's like the boys from Amazon, the boys TV show. That's popping domes, man.
But that's what people want, and that's like the edgy stuff that folks want to see.
So edgy.
Yes,
I think there's a way they could do it and appease that crowd without going invincible levels of gore, but they could get a little more than they are right now. And I think if they wrote it right and they marketed it correctly and let people know, hey, up front, all right, just so you know what this is, I think it could do well. I think it really could. But there has to be a reason. The story. This is my main point, and I'll shut up about it. Is if you're gonna do that, if you do that, give it a good reason. Give me a fantastic story that makes me really want to dive into that character and why they are like that.
Yeah.
Why they're going to that length. Why it's such a crazy battle or whatever that's causing these to happen, right? Like, like why is it? No, tell me why. I don't need it for just visuals. This isn't Michael Bay explosions. This is like, tell me why.
Yeah, it better be a good story. So I just want to say, Fourzze, once again, happy birthday.
Hey, thanks, dude.
Jeff, happy early. Even though
Dude. Oh,
you're
look,
already,
there
we go. Yes.
He woke up.
He woke up.
I'm going to use my Luke Hero bottle opener here. I'm just going to get a beer going just for you guys, all right?
Are you drinking on camera?
I don't care.
Yes.
After the night,
That's
after the night you've had.
I think.
No, I'm not going to drink. I'm just going to take a few sips.
It's just it's
I
apple
think
juice.
Fourzze, you and I are the only ones that aren't.
With water.
Apple cider. Yeah, it's Stella makes it.
I can't.
Stella makes this apple cider.
Nah, for what it's worth, I waited until I got home to start drinking.
Oh, that's the way it should work.
Good man.
That's valid.
I could have drank at my buddy's birthday party, but
Hold on, it's
Very
a
responsible.
sponsored.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy, responsible.
Yep. Just call me AA Ron the straight edge.
All right.
That would be
Right,
me.
I think.
No alcohol. I've just been drinking root beer and water.
Yep.
Is it A&W root beer?
No.
Craig says John Wick Vader.
Barks?
No, it's one of the local grocery stores.
All right.
Ooh, that sounds really
There
good.
you go. Say 2 sips.
That and I was
Local
drinking
stuff.
Liquid Death,
Liquid Death.
Liquid Death.
the water.
But yeah, I mean, look, if they did, hey, you know what? The Star Wars Visions anime stuff is coming up. Oh, I see you. That's cool.
Nice.
Star Wars Visions anime is coming up, and I cannot explain. And you know what I found out today? I was gonna say I'm so excited. I interrupted myself because energy. Sorry. So
It's too late for that.
there is an audiobook for Visions that's going to be releasing soon,
Really?
like next month
Really?
in October. And I have no idea what story it's based on out of all the Visions episodes or if it's just the whole thing. But I am like so ready for it. Like I want to listen to this. I want to see the show. Like Visions, everything. And that's, look, we got a lightsaber umbrella in there. So maybe someone is in there going, I mean, the lightsaber umbrella thing is just blowing my mind. And then the old dude with the katana, it's a lightsaber, but the saber blade is the shape of a katana with the triangular point and everything, and it's like this solid saturated red. And I'm like, that art style looks sick. I'm like so excited about it.
Well,
One thing
and I
that
mean that level of R-ratedness that you were talking about, you might get that with the Acolyte. Or something
I'm
close.
really, I'm not excited about the showrunners for that show, but I am excited to give it a try and see how it turns out. And if there ever comes a day where we get some like dark Sith magic, little bit more adult level of content, however that is, if they ever even venture into that even a little bit, I'll be very interested to see what it is. But again, for me, the story has to give it purpose. Like, I really want to get sucked in. I want to care about these characters. I want what they do to mean something. It can't just be for show, right?
Yeah.
It has to matter.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's anime, and it's going to be for show. A lot of it is
Well,
for show.
even outside of anime, even in live action, anything they do with Star Wars, I want it to matter. You know what I mean? But yeah, the anime looks great. I'm really excited to dig into that, man.
That's going to be pretty
And I'm not
crazy.
even an anime guy. That's the funny thing. But I've only recently in the last year or so, kind of started to delve into some animes, and I'm still not real big into it. But then they screwed up. They screwed up royally. They took Star Wars and art, and I'm like,
Stupid.
You stupid. So
Stupid.
what I'm kind of waiting for with this anime, which at face value, I can't wait to see it because I am an anime person.
Thank
And
you.
a Star Wars fan. So seeing the two combined is going to be really interesting and really cool.
When our powers combine, I am Captain Planet.
Leave Captain Planet
I'm-
alone, damn it.
I'm also really interested to see any possible lightsaber replicas that people make. Like,
oh yes,
even though it's probably gonna eat the crap out of battery life, but if someone makes a NeoPixel version of that umbrella lightsaber,
oh my god,
that's gonna be cool.
They will.
That's gonna be really cool.
I think somebody.
Don't think they won't.
I think somebody will probably. Here's my prediction. So number one, someone's gonna do it. They always do.
Yeah.
Especially if they have an opportunity to be a first on something. So that's gonna happen. It's just a matter of when. Number two, this is my prediction. I think with the lightsaber umbrella thing, I think it's going to be a combination of 3D printed pieces and aluminum, just to help out with the complexity of it, based on what I saw. And then we'll see how serious they get with that design. I think we're going to see a few iterations, but whoever makes like a truly working, not like half-aid job, the real deal, if you will, I bet you it's going to be a combination of 3D printed pieces and aluminum, because it seems complex enough that would probably make it cheaper for you to make doing it that way.
Yeah.
Because that's a super complex big piece.
Even then, the thing has 6 to 8 blades on it.
Yeah,
that alone is gonna make the price of it that much more expensive. If you're already doing that, then they might just go with a full metal or aluminum type of build.
I have a theory about that aluminum saber. Or aluminum. Jeez, was this the aluminum Falcon? No,
Aluminium.
No, the umbrella lightsaber. I have a theory about it. I think that is really just a tool that has the ability to turn into that, but I don't think that's its primary form. I think it's going to be some kind of pike saber staff or something bigger. That I think that umbrella move is like a secondary function of some kind. That's my prediction for that piece, because otherwise, how else would it be practical? If you notice, he only whipped it out when he was, I need to ricochet a bunch of bullets right now and create a shield for myself. But what else is he going to do with it? So I think it's really probably something else that he can turn into that. That's my prediction for that.
It's
Yeah,
like
no, I
when
agree.
That
it's
sounds
like the
cool.
first time you saw Grievous in the Clone Wars cartoon from '03. Like, you saw him just start spinning, and you're thinking, well, nobody can stop that. There's no stopping it. Can't
Yeah.
beat him. You know.
Yeah. Then Obi-Wan comes in like stops all.
Yep.
And why did he lose? Because of Obi-Wan.
Because of Obi-Wan.
Because of Obi-Wan.
That's good. That's good.
And you think, why didn't he do that against Obi-Wan? Why didn't he just stretch out and start spinning around like a freaking top? Because he probably would have won.
There's
There
like
is.
But
Oh, go
cheap
ahead, Mike.
animated tactics.
maybe you were gonna say that. Yeah, there's like a funny meme thing video where like he ignites like 100 of them, and as soon as he starts spinning, like they just engulf him and he explodes. I love it.
There's a bunch of those. Yeah, I love that one. In the Visions trailer, the rabbit girl, I don't know. I don't think they've revealed what her species is yet, but the rabbit girl, like, they show a very clear shot of that ornate. It almost looks like a Japanese inspired hilt it's got like a floral pattern on it, but they show a very perfect side profile shot. And I'm like, I know somebody's building that shit right now. Oh, I'm sorry. That stuff.
It's 13. It's fine. You're good.
I know somebody's working on that right now. And if I had the money, I would too, because it looked incredible. I really like that design. Really liked it.
Cool.
I'm interested to see how many Visions fonts are going to be done by night number 1. I can count at least 3.
Oh man, that's fine. I'm one of those people. I want to consume the content first. That way, if I decide, I can go back to the content and make it as accurate as I can, or whatever. But a trailer like that is not enough for me personally. But there are those that will.
That's why Negotiator's not going to get an upgrade until
the Obi-Wan show.
The Obi-Wan show is 100% done.
And that's even if it's that version of the Saber, right? I mean, it is that version, but it's different, right? It's like this. If the Obi-Wan show should be his hilt and stuff from Episode 4, I would assume.
His Episode 4 hilt is just a weathered, rusted version, Episode 3 hilt. That's all it is.
It is extremely rusted. It's great though.
Yeah, so just
no, I guess you make a good point. Yeah.
I've heard that for the Obi-Wan show, it's kind of a mix between Episode 3 and Episode 4.
It should be.
So maybe we'll see it like half weathered, kind of.
Yeah,
but that's a big gap,
actually
man.
Just a huge timeline of watching the Saber go from pristine to dirty.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes me wonder how many times he actually ignited that darn thing between 3 and 4, because like it is so rusted.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just one of those random daydream questions that I'm like, the things I think about, right? It's like, Obi-Wan, how did it rust? He doesn't live near the sea. He's in a desert. It's like, how does it rust?
I'd like to think they're gonna do what they did with Arrow. You think he's on the island for the 5 years, but he's not. So
but he's doing other stuff. Yeah.
I think Obi's gonna go off planet at least a couple of times, get involved with some major stuff, and then eventually end up back on Tatooine. Because honestly, I want to see him crack. That's what I want. I originally, when I thought about his time on Tatooine, my mind always went back to the movie Castaway, and that movie is so quiet.
Talking to the ball.
No, not even the ball. I'm just talking about just all the scenes where he's just staring, or taking in an environment. Like, I can see them having Ewan walk through a lot of desert by himself, no music. It's just the sound of the wind, and you just watch him just literally rot away,
like break down. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, and eventually, it all hits him. Like he's literally lost everything, and you would expect this stoic leadership, perfect general behavior. No, he freaking cracks.
Yeah,
and I want to see that. I want to see him be human.
Yeah.
You know, because by all rights, he should have lost his at Satine.
Yeah.
When that was done, he should have popped and slaughtered Maul, but he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's yet to be canonized, if I'm not mistaken.
What, the Clone Wars?
No, the stuff with Satine, that's yet to be canonized, I think. I don't think the stuff with him and Satine is canon.
I don't know. I thought whatever was Clone Wars.
Clone Wars is, but not everything in Clone Wars is canon, and they have retconned some stuff too.
Oh.
But I don't think Satine has been canonized.
All right, because
I could be wrong, but
when they've retconned an entire book that they wrote.
It was cool how it went down. I mean, the whole, Palpatine taking on Maul and Savage, like, that was neat. It was a nice visual, but that's not how it should have gone down. I mean, as soon as Satine died, Obi should have lost his mind, and that should have been it. That should have been the end of Maul right there.
Yep. 100%.
But they didn't do it.
Yeah, but then he'd be given into the dark side and blah blah blah. And
he got pretty angry when Qui-Gon was killed.
I'm gonna disagree with you, but that's cool. That's what this hobby's all about.
His skill level, he gained 14 levels, from the anger he got from Qui-Gon dying.
Yeah,
but this is freaking Obi-Wan. He's the perfect Jedi. You're not gonna crack him.
Well, yeah, and I mean, he's by the time you see that stuff in Clone Wars, he's grown. He's more experienced.
He ain't that weak, son.
Right.
Yeah.
He's not that emotional anymore.
Hey, in all honesty, though, whether they go that route or the other way, I'm just happy to see it. I'm just happy to see Ewan back on screen. I hope they do. I hope this is the thing I think for
Cheetos.
The thing that I think for me, I would love to see the most, that would probably make me the happiest, assuming they don't drop, other live action characters that I've been hoping for. But if it's just, Ewan and, but I hope that they do flashbacks, like live action flashbacks with him and Hayden that are like Clone War era stuff, but we get to see Hayden with Ewan.
Like the armor. Yeah.
In the armor.
That'd be them
them two fighting together as Master and Padawan, Master and Apprentice, and that to me would be the biggest payoff.
I'd like to see some Mustafar battle that we didn't get to see.
Yeah, maybe even a second
or something.
There's elements of that fight we didn't get to see that was going on. So there was some discussion about the two of them going again, and that's the only way I could see it happening. Is they go back to the final battle, and we see it from a different angle. All the parts, like when the Emperor and Go-Go Yoda Ranger were flipping and hopping around, we get to see what. Sorry, that just kind of bugs me.
Yeah,
I've never been a fan of Go-Go Yoda Ranger.
I don't have I mean, look, I never had a problem with, Flippy Dippy Yoda. I've never had a problem with it, man. I honestly look, Revenge of the Sith is like the most meme. I mean, it's Palpatine. I mean, you're right.
Ridiculous.
And even
I saw an interesting video today. I love that one. Where he's like,
even the part with that's so bad.
If you listen, he does that sound he's they're fighting regular, and he's like,
yeah. No, but even when Yoda and him are on the discs, and Palpatine's coming back with lightning. Yeah. I'm like, man, they're really going there.
Wait for the memes.
Yeah, it's great though. I love it, man.
I thought it was a bit overkill in Return of the Jedi when he was just kind of like.
Well, that's back in. I mean, but you got to chalk that up to the day and time it was filmed. That's just, George Lucas is literally behind the camera saying more drama, more, do it more.
Yeah,
there was an interview I saw where they were talking about him.
And then
if you guys put a little more anger into it, that'd be great. Just a little more anger.
Yeah, he literally was doing that all the time.
And then 20 years later, we got that. So
yeah,
Duck face.
Yeah. And henceforth you shall be known as Darth Vader.
Vader. Yeah, Vader.
Rise.
We'll go with Vader. Vader this time.
Vader.
That's what we'll go with.
That's it.
Last time it was like you, so like I went up to V. Vader.
You would pay the price for your lack of vision.
You beat me
Pay
to it.
the price.
Your faith in your friends is yours.
Yeah, you know, what's that from Force Unleashed? Where it's like, and then you will die.
Oh yeah, he was like, he will come to me, and you will come. Like,
No, but in the game, he's
the
like,
condescending line was the best. He will come to you, and then you will bring him before me.
yeah,
And then he will die. The rest of it was awful. The rest of it from Force Unleashed was so bad. Kill him, Lord Vader!
Yeah,
Shut up!
yeah. Palpatine in that game literally he has them all lined up, captured, and he's just ridiculing them for like 20 minutes and talking about how he's going to end them, but you know it never happens. It's like video games.
I know.
Yeah, but that's kind of what Palpatine did, right? Like even in Return of the Jedi, he was taunting Luke. He's like, "Take your saber, kill me, do it, I dare you." Same with Rey in Episode 9. He was
even like he's like, "You want this,
don't you?"
That was so
priceless.
There it is. You want this,
don't
you?
And then
he's doing it,
you know,
Mr.
this is
Burns.
yeah. He's like, I can feel your
excellent.
Yes.
It's
like, and then he's like, take it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's almost like Burns, yeah.
Down with all of your hatred, and your journey toward the dark side will become complete.
Yeah, he like spits.
And he's like,
yeah. Hey, even in Episode 9, y'all make a good point. Even in Rise of Skywalker, he's like, "No, you want to kill me." He's like,
For real,
strike
dude.
me down.
Right.
Take my place.
You will strike me down, and we will be with Legion.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, basically. Hey, look, I'll say this: out of all the bullet points and critiques I could give Rise of Skywalker, I was still extremely happy with the lightning shooting in the air scene, because that to me was the only part of that whole thing that made me feel like that was Palpatine, you know?
right.
Nothing will stop the return of the Sith.
No,
And I was I remember being in the theater like, oh my God.
The silence was the most important part. It was like
yes,
quiet. And
they did that perfectly. And then the part where he's like, "What could you give me?" And it's like, everything. You know, and I was like, that was sick, dude.
I like that. Yeah,
Everything.
The movie trailer.
Yeah, like that's what it did. It was sick, dude.
Really do it with the violinist.
Yeah.
Everything.
And Carlos like,
pack of Marlboros, please.
He's like, all right, I'll take that.
I need a pack of Marlboros. The worst cigarette voice moment was when he's like, "As once I fell, so falls the last Skywalker."
And they're like, and as he's saying this, they're like just standing there.
Yeah. It's.
And that was a long force push. He was just like flying through like the whole.
Yeeted him, man. Freaking. Yeah.
Oh, that video.
Yeah, pretty much.
What is this?
Yeah.
Oh, so good. So good.
So many memes that happen, and they're so quickly forgotten. You still have to have, and that I actually discovered through Dragon Ball. They didn't do that with Star Wars until later.
Yeah.
I don't even know the name of the song. I just know the little riff to it.
Stars
That's
by
it.
Egg Enders.
Yeah, shooting
Thank
stars. Or
you.
something. Yeah. Yep. Yes, with Palpatine going. And then it keeps going. Yes.
He just keeps on spinning.
Oh, yeah. I saw that once. I know what you're talking about. I was like, what do you guys?
And I really am excited for all the new content. Visions is going to be epic.
There's so much.
The Obi-Wan show, dude, Book of Boba Fett in December. Let's go.
I want to see that. Yes.
Dude, I cannot wait to see that.
Should be fun.
I mean, it really kind of only gets better from here if you think about it, because they have all these TV shows. They're basically starting to give Star Wars the Marvel treatment, where you have all these shows, and then it's gonna build up to what I'm hoping will be like a new trilogy or something. We'll see. But there's just gonna be, it's not like the days of old before the Disney acquisition, where you had the movies in the 70s and 80s, the OT, and then it was how many years before the prequels, and then the prequels to the sequels is also a big time jump. But now that that's the one thing about the Disney acquisition that I'll always cherish, is that now it's kind of unlocked. Like, yes, maybe the things they create won't always be a 10 out of 10, but it's still Star Wars. It's still new content, and it's keeping coming, right? Yeah. So even if this thing comes out and it sucks, well, that's okay, because there's more coming. So
yeah,
we're gonna get the W's no matter what.
Well, and I mean, Taika Waititi.
Yeah, I love him.
Who did Thor Ragnarok, and he's doing the new Thor. He did a couple of episodes of The Mandalorian. He was voices in The Mandalorian. And Disney's apparently giving him his own trilogy.
His own
trilogy.
I think I heard about that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, that's gonna be phenomenal, because not only is he a genius director, but he's hilarious.
No, he's great.
Like, he has a way to just slip that comedy in there.
Yeah. I really can't wait to see what he does. And that falls right into my point, Jeff, is there's so much new content coming, and it just isn't going to stop. So even if there's one that comes out that's not someone's cup of tea, that's okay. There's more and more, and we don't have to wait 25 years for it, And that's just, I think about when I'm, like if I have a kid today, which I'm not, but if I did, right? So I'm 36. So that means in 20 years, I'll be 56. And then I'm thinking to myself, if I have a 20-year-old, how much more Star Wars is going to happen between now and then? Far more than was with the OT to the prequels, right? Yeah. And that, to me, is extremely exciting.
Because between the OT and the prequels, because Fourzze and I are of that generation, we had exactly two things, and it was the made-for-TV Ewok movies. Like, seriously, that was all we had. And we had the Ewoks animated show and the Droids animated show, and that's all we had. Yep. And they didn't last very long. And it was between Return of the Jedi and Phantom Menace was 22 years.
Yeah, because the last Return of the Jedi was
84.
84, okay.
About 15 years.
That's that's when I was born. But I grew up watching the OT.
And the Phantom Menace was 99. So
99,
it's been about 15 years then.
Yeah.
Dude. So.
Yep.
Yeah, because I would have been 8. I was 8 when that came out.
Yeah. So now, moving forward, we're in a spot where, new Star Wars every year, and whether it's a TV show or a movie, like, there's always going to be something. And and even more fascinating to me is they have the option to pull from Legends. So anytime they do that, I'm like, yo, let's freaking go. Like,
well, and I mean, the difference is so so Brandon, Ian, and Aaron, you guys don't have kids, Fourzze, your kids are older, but Mike and I are in the position where our kids are younger. So we're going back and we're watching, like we get to experience this with a whole new generation of fans, right? With our kids being younger, about going through and watching episode 1 and going all the way through to episode 9 and doing it in order, and then having them find out that Anakin becomes Darth Vader. They don't know that in episode 1. They don't know that in episode 2. They don't find out till the end of episode 3, and they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
And then you watch all 7 seasons of Clone Wars. You watch all 4 seasons of Rebels, like, and it's great. Like,
yep.
It just for them to experience that for the first time and see the enjoyment that you feel in their eyes, right?
Assuming you watch it in that order, but
yeah.
I know when you said that order, I was kind of like, "Are you sure?" Episode 4 was
actually my wife did both orders. So when I first met her and she, found out what I was into, and she said, "Oh, like that's cool. Like I never saw Star Wars. Let's watch it." And we did 4, 5, 6 first. And she was like, she saw it. She forgot it though, like because the next time we watched it was like talking like 7, 8 years later, and we were like got married by that point, and she's like, let's rewatch it. She's like, I want to watch it like from the beginning, and I'm like, so you're saying the first one? She's like, yeah, I don't know. So like we did it that way the second time, but she forgot it like a lot of parts. The only thing she remembered is I am your father, and so and. That's it. We rewatched it that way, so we did it both ways. I don't know. I can't really comment too much.
I'm not an elitist, man. Like, look, as long as you're watching, we're cool, man. Check it out. Enjoy it how you want to enjoy it, and we're all here to enjoy it the same, So, I'm never gonna give people flack for that. That's
with the kids. I see what Jeff is saying. I watch in order. So
yeah, you want the kids to be surprised, like, oh my gosh, he turns into Darth Vader. Oh no, like that's got to be pretty cool.
Well, like I told you guys a few weeks ago, my wife and I have been together for 26 years.
Dang, dude.
We went and saw episode 3 in the theater. She's seen me watch it multiple times since. And it took her 20 years to figure out that Anakin slaughters all those kids in the temple.
Oh wow!
Like it just hit her the other day. She's like, "Does he kill all those kids?" And I'm like, "Yeah." What did you think was gonna happen? Did he just let them go?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He lights up his lightsaber and says, "Here, let me show you the way out."
No, there's only one way out.
Right?
Speaking of, you guys know how that all like went down? You ever saw a behind the scenes thing? Like the kid who says Master Skywalker, that's too many. The way they did it on set, they didn't warn the kid. Like kind of, they were just like, say your line, and then you'll see what happens. And so they said that Hayden, he like went like that, and he scared him. He went like boo, and that's why I see the kid go like that, kind of like that was real. That was a real, like I think they said first take, and they just took reaction. That. Yeah, he's like boo. He like scared him, but they edited out the boo, and then they caught up with the kid years later now, and I think he somewhere on the internet there's a picture of Hayden like and the kid like hugging, and he's like in college now or maybe graduated already.
Yeah, they just made its way around Instagram the other day.
Oh, okay.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
So do you guys think they should make a series of Anakin's training from the end of episode 1 to the beginning of episode 2?
I think that's cool.
I would like to see that.
Yeah. Nobody's really touched on that. That's cool.
I think that should be a mini series, like what they're doing with Kenobi. Like it should be 6 episodes, kind of like what they did with Loki. It's each one teaches you a lesson, and you see him grow and change as he grows up in each one. And each episode should like have a reference to something from either in Clone Wars or in the movie. You know, like, oh, you saved me from that pit of gundogs. You know, something like that.
Right, like go there and show that.
As long as they leave out yippee, we're good.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
and I hate
the
to leave
master.
that out.
And I hate to burst your bubble, but Loki's not a miniseries. It's getting season 2.
Heck yeah, dude! I'm so ready
Nice.
for that.
I still didn't watch it.
Oh my god, I'm so ready for that.
Yeah.
I want to know what
All
happened
right.
to Kato Nemodia.
Yeah.
That business on Kato Nemodia doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
See,
All right,
we need to
folks.
see that.
Well, we're gonna go into the after party here, kids. I'm gonna call it on the stream. Thank you guys once again for joining us. This is always good and therapeutic for all of us. So, I've got the next guest lined up for 2 weeks from now. But don't forget to tune in next Friday to the Usual Suspects halftime show on this guy's channel right here. Because we don't know who do you have lined up for Friday?
Nobody yet.
And that's what we're looking forward to.
We're working on a lot of different things. So
okay, very cool.
So,
but I've got my next one lined up, and then for 4 weeks from now, I've got somebody in mind from the cosplay community, but tracking them down is going to be tough.
Cool.
So, all right. Well, from all of us to all of you, happy birthday to Jeff, and may the fours be with you. And remember, bread makes you fat.
and don't forget, happy birthday to this guy. In case you all didn't catch the Instagram live stream on September 1st.
Yeah.
September 1st. That was a good one, too. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.